Oh, well, I guess you can hear me because first I had unmuted my mic and then I muted again because I was moving around. And then I forgot that I had put it back on mute. So there we go. But anyway, what I was saying before I was so rudely muted is welcome to the show. If you have a question that you want to submit to the show, look in the show description down below, click that link and hit, just fill out the form, send in your question, and it will be considered, for an upcoming broadcast. We're here every Tuesday, except, if I'm sick or if there's a holiday or something, we might postpone it. But other than that, we're here every Tuesday for What the Fuck Tuesday. It's a relationship advice live stream, and it's pretty funny. So hopefully you will become a subscriber to the channel, and you can then, make sure you get those instant notification reminders so you don't miss the live, because that's really half the fun is participating in the chat with these nuts that are here because they are crazy and they be going in. It's unbelievable. But it's a lot of fun here as well as educational and informative. So you hopefully will learn from other people's mistakes so that you don't go out and make the same ones. Of course, we're not saying you won't make any, but at least you won't make these. Let's hope. Okay. So let's get started. This is What the Fuck Tuesday for June 29th, 2021. Can you believe this year's half over already? We have 25 questions today for those of you who like to follow along. 25 questions. Question number one. This is from a female in the 21 to 25 age group from New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand. We have been talking for about a month. My new boyfriend is 29, and he mentioned that he would like to pick out my outfits for me. I'm 23. He did help me decide on an outfit I'm wearing out tonight, and then mentioned how we are living closer together. When we are living closer together, we are long distance right now, that he will want to pick, quote, all of my clothes, end quote. I asked him why he would want to, and he said he misses doing relationship stuff like that. Hmm. Is this controlling behavior? He has complimented my appearance often. He hasn't seemed possessive or controlling at all, but maybe he doesn't like my style. Should I be worried? Is this a red flag? What should I say to him? Oh, no, no, no. You must put the brakes on this immediately. You tell him, if I were still four and I needed you to help me pick my clothes, then what you had to say about picking, quote, all of my clothes might have merit. But I've been choosing my own outfits since I was 4 or 5 years old. I don't think I really need you to do that. This is, to me, that's not a relationship thing that you should do. I'm not going to pick your clothes and you're not going to pick mine. There are going to be certain boundaries here. I don't know what kind of relationships you've been involved in before where you thought that that was what you should be doing or she did either, but that's not going to fly with me. I choose my clothes. Thanks. And that's it. And you got to put the brakes on that. For me, I'm telling you, I don't know. I think when you get older, you read handwriting a lot differently than you young girls do. So when I give advice to someone 21 to 25, I'm giving it to you in a somewhat, in a style that will leave room for negotiation. For me, there would be no negotiation. Soon as he said he would want to pick all, quote, all of my clothes, end quote, I would have said, fuck you. You ain't picking a goddamn thing. Get off my phone. Deuces. Because to me, just that somebody would even think something like that shows that his mind, he's not, no. The one thing, like as a Leo, I'm telling you, I don't cheat. I'm not going to corner cut and dodge and all that stuff unless you set that precedent. Then, of course, I will mirror you. But I mean, in general, I have no interest in that. That's why I chose you. I'm not, I don't be tripping like that. But one thing you're not going to do, absolutely not gonna do is control me. You're not gonna tell me where to go, what to wear, how to do my hair, how to do my makeup, what perfume I should wear, what shoes I should wear, when I should be back, who my friends should be. Nothing. You're not going to tell me nothing. If I ask for your opinion, then you can certainly give it. But I retain the right to ignore you completely and do whatever the fuck I want to do. I might just be asking you just, because I just want to hear some words from somebody. It doesn't mean I'm asking you because I really care about your opinion. Okay, there's a difference there. But for me, a dude saying something like this would get him instantly terminated. Quote, all of my clothes? Nah, you ain't going to do that. As a matter of fact, we're not even going to talk anymore. That's what's going to happen. But since you're young and you don't have that kind of life experience to really know what this means, that's what I'm going to tell you to say because it gives you like a step two. It's a two-step process instead of Deb's one-step process. So you have the two steps where you tell him that and see how he responds. Now, if he doesn't respond in a favorable way where he backs down and says, yeah, you're right. I didn't realize I said it that way. That's not what I meant. I just meant that I would like to, maybe pick out some things I would think would be really pretty for you, like as a gift or something. He better clean that shit up. I mean, right up. And then you might say, oh, okay, well, that's not what you said, but I'm glad that we clarified that. You see what I'm saying? That'd be the only way he could save it. If he starts getting defensive and saying, well, why not? And, you should dress to please me and all this kind of stuff that dudes like to say, fire him. Fire him. You don't pick my clothes. And my husband, where were we going? I don't know. It was one of our early dates. And, I remember now we were going to my company holiday party. And we had only been going out maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks or so. I mean, just brand new. We hadn't even slept together yet, nothing. Okay, so he, he wanted us to, it was like he wanted us to be like it. We were going to prom or something. I had this black velvet, but what they used to call a bolero, and this pink, like strapless uh, party dress that I was wearing, like a hot pink or something. And it looked really cute on me and everything. I had my lipstick matching my nails and everything and some shoes. And so he wanted a cummerbund and bow tie that matched my dress. And I was like, are we going to prom? I mean, what is this? But I'm like, whatever. He gave me the money. So I went down to the store and I took my dress and I, got a color that matched it. So he was happy. So we went to the party looking like a couple. But before that happened, right around that time, he asked me something one day about what he should wear to some event we was going to. And I was like, what do you mean, what should you wear? And he was like, well, so you could pick my outfit. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. How you been picking your clothes before we met? And he's like, oh, I picked them. I'm like, but then I flashed back on that Superfly red that paisley shirt and that red pants outfit he had. I said, maybe that's why he asked me. I didn't think of that till years later, though. That because he knew he was looking all kinds of fucked up that night. So I thought, okay, maybe that's is why he asked me. But I didn't think like that. I didn't think of it that moment. I just said, well, honey, whatever way that you have been picking your clothes, you need to keep doing that because I don't pick grown man's clothes. I mean, unless I see you in something like super egregious, or we going some formal place where I need no, I have to get your tux or something like that. Well, then yeah, then I'll pick it. But just on GP, I'm not gonna be picking your clothes. You wear whatever the fuck you want to wear, and if I don't like it, then yeah, he was very relationship oriented, much more than me, Mary Elizabeth. I told you about the time of the first weekend he spent at my house. I was pacing like a caged lion. I couldn't wait for him to leave. So he definitely was more, into the couple thing than me. I mean, I liked him and everything, but I didn't. It just wasn't like that. And so for something like this, I would feel like that was infringing on my freedom of choice, and I would not want to be in a relationship with this particular individual. Yeah, well, I want my husband to pick his own clothes. 'Cause see, that's just one more work, one more job for me. He was a Taurus, believe it or not, just a Taurus. And I'm a Leo. I still don't know how that worked. But I mean, because he had some Aries, and I have in my chart somewhere some Virgo or something. And so it worked out. And I mean, we were really super compatible. And I had our chart done at one point, and the woman who did it said that we were like in the 90 something percentile as far as compatibility. Even though if you just look at sun signs, we were, completely opposite. But all the other planets lined up really well. And so we were like, like a damn near perfect match. It was unbelievable. But enough about me. Let's move on to question number two. Question two, female, 21 to 25. She's out of Cincinnati. I was talking to this guy for like a month, and after we decided to meet up for our first date, we were supposed to go watch a movie, but instead he wanted to chill at the car park of the movie theaters and talk. The car park. At first, I didn't want to, but I just kind of agreed because I don't like confrontation. Wait, does that mean in the parking lot of the movie theater? Is that what she's meaning? Anyways, while we were talking in his car, he kept putting his hand on my inner thigh, even though I would take his hand and put it back on himself. He then asked me to come over to him and kiss him. Thing is, I would have normally, but it felt like it was all happening too quickly. Like that's all he wanted from me or something, especially since he didn't want to watch the movie we had originally planned to watch. Anyway, he kept asking and I kept saying no, so he ended up asking for a hug, which I agreed to. He then asked for a kiss again, which I uncomfortably did because I felt awkward and low key worried he would get mad. I'm getting mad. So fast forward 2 weeks. Now he broke things off with me because he said he didn't like how I kept rejecting him, which I understand. But at the same time, I felt like he was pressuring me. Now that he stopped speaking to me, I feel like that was all he wanted from me, sexy stuff. I don't know how to feel, to be honest. What do you and the squad think? Sorry for any mistakes here. I'm on my phone. Girl, okay, you so young. Okay, when you agreed to see a movie with this guy, which for a first date is always a bad idea. So in the future, if a guy says, let's go to a movie on the first date, decline. Say, I want to do something where we can talk and get to know each other. In a movie, you're sitting there, you're staring at, you can't talk because people are watching a movie and they'll run you out the movie theater. That's not a good first date. As a matter of fact, that's a date that you should only have after you're an established couple and maybe after you went out somewhere talking or having a drink or something. Then you finish the night off by watching a movie. Or if you married and you escaping your kids because you got a babysitter and y'all want to be able to see a movie in peace without kids crying or interrupting you, then you go see a movie. But other than that, movies for dates suck. Okay? You don't do movies, especially for the first date. Now, let me move on to some more about this. So he was supposed to take you to movies. He drives to the movie theater, you in the parking lot of the movie theater, and he wants to sit there and talk. You were supposed to say no. I came to see a movie on a date, not sit in a car in the cold, in the dark, in a parking lot. This is not my idea of a good time. If this is what you want to do, just take me back home. That's what you should have told him. Okay, and if he didn't want to take you back home, you happily open that door, get on your phone, call you a Uber, call your daddy, call your best friend, call your big brother, whatever you need to do to just leave him there. And you go into the movie theater and say, I was on a date. This guy just, didn't want to bring me. He was going to abandon me in the parking lot. Can I just stand here until my ride comes? And of course they would say yes. They'll put you right by the booth thing where there's security and everybody can keep an eye on you. Okay, so that in itself, you didn't have anything to be afraid of. Number three, he kept touching you even though you did not want him to touch you. Again, you are supposed to get out of the car and put space between you. This is a man who did not respect any of your boundaries at all. Nothing about you he was showing any respect or concern. You were supposed to get out of the car, not worried about if he's mad, if it feels awkward, and all this kind of stuff that you were focused on, young lady. How you handled yourself was very poor. You act like you just have no spine. If you're not gonna handle yourself with a spine, then you don't go out with nobody, okay, until you get one. This is a ripe setup for what they call date R. Because you don't have any firm boundaries. And he gonna keep pressing and pressing, pressing. And yes, what he would be doing is criminal, but is that gonna help you? In the long run, I mean, it would have already happened. And then you're going to be all messed up for the rest of your life thinking about it when you could have got out of the car or, as soon as you saw that he was on some fucked up shit, you cease and desist. This is something I'm really trying to get young women to understand. You have power. You have choices. Your job is not to make a man that you don't even fucking know feel good about anything. That's not your job. Okay? That's not your concern. If he gets mad, so what? He can scratch his ass and get glad. People get mad every damn day, and guess what? They still live. So it's not your responsibility to worry about him. Okay, now let's talk about the next thing. So then, he pressured you. So then he did that thing where, well, I'm going to pressure for the big thing. And so she says, no, so I'm going to ask her for the little thing. This is a psychological strategy that a lot of people use. They use it in sales and players use it, narcs use it. So he asked for, come over here, do this, and that. Can I touch you, this and that? And you kept saying, no, 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 no. So then he just asked for a hug. And then while he was hugging you, so you gave into that because it was a lesser thing. You were supposed to continue to say no. And he's kissed you. You're supposed to stab him when he started trying to grab you to kiss you. That's why I always carry a knife. I didn't tell you to touch me, motherfucker. I didn't tell you to kiss me. I'm going to stab you now. Kiss this. Okay. And now you were worried that he would get mad. I don't understand that at all. My most favorite thing to do is make niggas mad. You know why? Because if they get jiggy, then I get to stab or shoot them. So, I just be waiting for them to get mad. Get mad if you want to. You better take your mad and get it, start your engine and go. That would be your best bet. Don't be getting mad thinking you're going to put your hands on me or do something to me. Because if we're going to be battling out like, if we at the OK Corral, it's not going to end well because I'm a great shot. Yeah, that is a standard game. Just that's you start big and then you work your way down to small, and the person usually so relieved you're not asking a big thing that they give in to the little thing. But see, Deb, once I say no, which I learned from my mother, no means no. Big request, little request, side request, partial request, request on Tuesday, request on Saturday, it doesn't matter. I said no, and that's what I meant. You can go to your grave and it's going to still be no. So this is something, young ladies, that you and those listening to you who have the same problem have to learn how to do. If you cannot find your voice and stick to no's and put space between you again between you and any man who disrespects your no, then don't date. Don't date because you're setting yourself up to be a victim. Okay? You don't do that. Now he stopped speaking to you because that's all he wanted you right. He showed you that from day one. I don't know why you just now getting it weeks later. He showed you that from the gate that was all he was after. He didn't give a shit about you. It's not even about money. This is a motherfucking asshole with no respect. Okay, spending money, how much money he spent is not even an issue. The main thing is he promised her a movie and then he didn't deliver. Whether the movie cost was $1 movie or a $30 movie, that's irrelevant. Whether you went to dinner first or whatever, whatever he promised and then he didn't deliver, trying to be slick and get some tail out of it, that is the point, not how much money he spent. Stay focused. Okay, he did not respect her boundaries and he did not deliver on his promises. Those are two things that get you the instant boot. Okay, don't focus on silly stuff. Basically, that's silly stuff. This is just a jerk, and you should be happy that he cut things off and saved you because you probably didn't know how to do that yourself. Let's move on to question 3. This is a young lady, 30 to 35, from Edinburgh, Scotland. In summer 2019, my friend, she's divorced, no children though, went on holiday to Tunisia. I don't know where that is. And ended up having a holiday romance type of thing with a guy from there. Before COVID struck, she used to travel back and forth every few months on cheap deals with a budget airline to see him. Each time she stayed in a hotel. He didn't stay with her because in his country this would be forbidden as they're not married. My friend seems smitten by this guy and seems so happy with him. He has never said anything negative about his character or behavior, but it worries me that he seems to live in real poverty, living hand to mouth. He has no savings, no secure job, and not much education. Each time she's there, my friend pays for everything, even to the point of paying for his mom's groceries and medicines. The family seems to treat my friend as some kind of money tree. Makes me worry about her being badly exploited, especially she's so lovely and keen to please this guy. Ooh, he found him a sucker. They're talking about marriage and bring him over to the UK, but I'm worried that he'll bleed her dry once he's here. He has a very laid back attitude towards finding work, tells her stuff like, well, it's okay, you have a good job, as though he's already planning to live off of her. Already has her sending money to him regularly, usually for gas bills, food shopping, medical fees for his mum. The list goes on. My friend is well paid in her profession, but she seems blind to the red flags of being asked for money all the time. I feel scared for her that it will end in tears if the sponger ever moves here. She's worked so hard to buy her home, a car, and everything else. It upsets me to think of this person just using her as a ticket out of poverty. What do I say or do here? You go to your friend and you say, Is his dick like the size of a mountain and is gold plated? What is the deal here?" And you thinking that that's very shocking and blunt and rude and all this stuff. Mm-mm. That's what you need. She need a reality check. And that's how you need to say it. Practice it so that it flows from your mouth and shocks the fuck out of her. Because she needs to think about, well, say, well, I'm trying to figure out what it is that you see in a man who don't have no education, don't have no job, don't have no money, don't have, it lives hand to mouth and is broke as fuck. It must be the dick. That's the only thing that I could think of. You sprung as hell because you giving this man all kind of money like he's your pimp or something. That's what, if it were my friend, that's what I would say. It's not even desperate, Nerly. It's some women have this okay, they don't have she doesn't have any children. She have this desperate need to take care of something. She would do better to get a dog, a puppy or something, and take care of that. It's the same kind of thing. They have this innate need to take care of something because it makes them feel needed. So it's different than desperation. I don't think it's that, because she says, she's a lovely person, this and that. But there's something in her that makes her feel like she has to earn love, that she has to give all of this stuff for people to like her and, to qualify for their affection or something. We don't know. All we know is what's in this letter. We don't know how this girl was raised, what she's had to overcome, what her self esteem is like. It sounds like it's pretty low. But I do know for a fact, as I've seen it myself in real life amongst family and friends and college people and people I worked with and all kind of stuff. These women will get some dude who knows how to put it down and they ain't never hit them high notes before, and he will put it down on them to the point where they just see Jesus and they can't see straight after that. And whatever dude wants, they will give it to him because they want to keep that good feeling that they have in those intimate moments, not realizing that that's a very small portion of your relationship. The rest of the time he ain't shit. So I'm like, and I'm telling you, my own personal model is every time, every new man, well, some of them are flub, but as you get older, dudes have more practice, right? They know, some have been married and divorced, then more of them know what they doing. So it's like every time, there's a new dude, it's better than it was the last time. So I see no reason to stop. And I'm definitely not paying nobody. I'm not buying you nothing. I might make you some cookies or something like that, but that's about all you're going to get from me. I mean, a little dinner every now and then, just so you have the energy to do what you need to do after you eat. You got to fill that boy up, get that belly full so he got, have some energy and his back is strong and stuff. Right. See, nerd, that's what it means. So I don't really think it's desperation. I think it's some internal qualities here. She needs some therapy. But what you're going to do, like I said, is shock her first and ask her if that's what it is the dick. And if she says no, no, and gets all embarrassed, say, well, then what is it? Because you said you don't have no money. You don't, rattle off that list of things and say, he's steady in your pocket. So it seems like you're kind of buying his affection. Is that what you want? Is that the relationship that you really want? Where do you see this ending? Especially if you marry him and he decides to divorce you, he's going to take half of what everything that you have. You can understand that, right? And just put it out there, because see, then that way she can never say that she didn't know. She can never say that you didn't tell her or remind her or whatever. So you can never say that. Your conscience will be clear. Okay, that's what's important. Let's move on. Question 4. This is a male in the 30 to 35 age group from Richmond, Virginia. I need an advice. I'm a single childless guy, 32 years old. I'm writing to ask you specifically because I know you lost your husband when your daughter was young, and I wanted to run this by you. Okay. So I started talking to this girl who has a kid, and from my understanding, she lost her husband too. That stuff doesn't bother me. What's got me thinking is not even less than a day of talking, she asked me for some help money wise. It's like $50 or something. I feel kind of like that's a red flag that she's asking me for money when we just started talking. My question is, if I start to talk to someone and ask for money, that'd be an insult to you as a woman, right? Am I overthinking this? Just has me thinking, is this going to be a continuous thing? I told her if I did do this, I would want to meet her in person, and she agreed. Any thoughts or suggestions from a woman's perspective? Yes, don't do it. Block her. And, because I had a situation, it's the same dude, I mean, it's the same amount of money. He wanted $50. I guess that's the new thing. A friend of mine told me about some girl he went out with, and at the end of the day, she asked him for $50. So maybe that's the hustle thing. Online, they make jokes about $40, but it seems more like it's $50. And My friend, the guy, he was balling. He was making all kind of money. He was like a liquor rep or something. I don't know. Anyway, he got these huge commissions and stuff. He was balling. So he gave her the $50, and he felt like he spent $50 to get rid of a dumb bitch where he would have paid way more than that if he had kept dating her. So to him, it was a bargain. So he gave her the $50, and he never called her again. So in a case like this, though, as soon as you start talking to her, she's gonna be asking you for $50. I would tell her no. Say, I think it's inappropriate for you to ask me for money, and I don't even know who you are. It's like, you think, I mean, you ain't that fine. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. You a baby mama. And it's like, yeah, even though she had, she claims that she was married and her husband died and all this and that, you just start talking to her. You don't know if that's true or not. Have you seen her wedding license? I mean, because I had to show a lot of dudes mine because they didn't believe me. I didn't mind because I know it's a lot of games going on out here. You know what I mean? And people just get antsy. I did not care about that, so I showed it to him. So yeah, showed him his death announcement in the little scrapbook that we had, and then they calmed down. But before that, a lot of people be on edge because there's so much gaming out here, and people be telling all kind of fantabulous lies. So you just never know, if someone's telling you the truth or not. In a situation like this, though, you're right. It's setting a precedent. And if you gave her the $50 without her even meeting her, then she gonna be expecting more once y'all start kicking in and talking on the regular. She gonna up it to 100, and then every time you see her, we had a letter like this a few weeks ago. And this dude was saying every time he sees this woman, it costs him $200 or $300. He's spending like $300-400 a week on this chick because he's seeing her like twice a week, and she's steady in his pocket. I'm like, I don't know what. I just don't even know what to say. But if I were you, I would be telling her, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna find somebody that doesn't need $50 from me." All right. Question 5. This is a young lady, 30 to 36, from Boston. Hello, Deb and the squad. I was asked out on a date by an Uber driver. While he was in his car, he asked for my phone number after arriving at my destination. I gave him my Google Voice number. Thank you for that golden nugget, Auntie, when I exited his car. He called me 2 days later at 8 and asked what I'm doing tonight. I told him I'm relaxing and not doing anything extra. He responded with, "Okay, call me whenever you're ready to go out." I called him a week later and gave him a date and a time. Should I still go out with this young man? He hasn't tried to call me to get any details about what I like to do. His no real conversation before our date that's coming up or anything. What should I do? I want to hear from the squad as well. Okay, Missy, you've been on this channel obviously for a minute because you heard me talk about the Google phone numbers, which I do not do every week. So that means you've been around, okay? Yet you totally ignored my advice that you never call a man. You don't call him. Why would you call him? He's an Uber driver. What does he have to offer you? Motherfucker's broke. Okay? Secondly, he's trying to pick up women while he's at work. That's totally inappropriate. You should not be supposed to give him nothing. Okay? What happened? What did you forget what the boundaries are here? He's at work. He's not supposed to be worrying about his dick while he's at work. You're not supposed to be worrying about your social life with a man who's at work. This whole thing went down funky. And so now you see how he responded with something stupid, and then you haven't heard from him. He ain't called and stuff. You know why? Because he's trash. He wanted to get you on that spur of the moment tip so he could get his dick wet. Thinking that because if you had responded in a positive way, he would know that you were thirsty. But since you already had plans, he figured that you was going to be too much work. And so he's moved on to easier prey. So whatever number, he gave your Google number, but you can go on Google and block him. I would suggest that you do that. Question number 6, female, 26 to 29, from McKinney, Texas. Hey, Auntie Deb, I have been watching your show for a while now, and this is my first time writing. My husband of 3 years, we have one son who's 2 years old, FYI, has said some things about a woman he works with, quote, Lola, that left me cocking my head and raising my eyebrows in the recent past. So today, when he accidentally left his Apple Watch at the house when he left for work, I decided to read all his shit. Good job. As of June 21st, they were making plans to go to Top Golf together. During one of their lunches this week. And that was in their private text, not the group text he has for his work family. And she's texting him first thing in the morning today, asking him if he's in the office. And he's telling her he's saving them spots by a window because they had to move desks at his work. There was nothing past 2 or 3 weeks ago, like the conversations maybe been deleted. I didn't find any evidence of cheating, but that stuff seems weird to me. I mean, he hasn't said anything to me about doing extracurricular bullshit with this random woman, and I wouldn't consider it appropriate to go out alone with a coworker of the opposite sex. Would he even be okay with that if I did it? I talked to my friend about it, and she says it sounds like normal work banter and totally innocent, but she's a Scorpio. Okay. I feel funky about it. I guess my question is this: do I need to chill or is he in the wrong? I know I have a little bit of jealousy. I've been cheated on in the past and I've been kind of hyper vigilant ever since. I know it was wrong to have looked through his watch. I do trust him, but I did what I did, so maybe I don't trust him as much as I thought. What should I do? Should I tell him I read his test and ask him to explain himself? Do I have the right to ask him to not go on one on one outings with other females? Last I checked, that's called a date, and the only one he should be dating is me. Should I light his Apple Watch on fire and call it a day? Are you channeling Amanda, my little firebug? Thank you for taking the time to read and answer my letter. Candace, Deb, and the squad. I love and appreciate you and this community. Okay. She called you Miss Inspector Gadget. This is her husband. It's not as easy to drop him. This is, and she said there's no evidence of cheating, but he's being inappropriate with the coworker. That's what I'm going to say. Now, um, whether you see, I feel like there are no accidents. He left his Apple Watch at the house because what happened was meant to happen, right? How often does that happen? He left his Apple Watch because it was time for you to know about his shenanigans. So what I would do is when he came home, I would have been, well, I guess, I don't know when you wrote this, so I guess it's already happened. But I would have been waving that Apple Watch. It's like, oh, you forgot this here. And it was just so convenient for me to go through it. And guess what I found? You planning dates with some bitch at your job? Okay, so then he would be like, "No, no, we were just gonna hang out." This and I said, "No, no, no, no. This is how it goes. When you're going to lunch one on one, you going to a golf game thing one on one, you going for a drive in the country one on one, you going to a movie. You just rattle off all kind of stuff that that he shouldn't be doing, and say when you do things like that, that's a date. That's a date. The only bitch you should be dating is me, nigga. That's it. So whatever this is you trying to get started here, you are going to stop it. And see, knowing me, I would have went in his phone and I would have sent her and him a note and saying, I read all these texts. Let me see you doing anything else with this bitch. I'm gonna come to your job and act a complete fool. And I'm gonna beat her ass and I'm gonna beat yours too. Do I make myself clear? Now, would I do anything like that? No, because I'm too dignified. But it's so fun to talk about it and threaten people. And if they know that you are the kind that just goes berserko, he would be afraid that you would do it. He would be sitting at his desk, looking at the door, waiting for the explosion sounds to come out as you bust through the door like Kool-Aid. This would not fly. This would not sit well with me at all. I think you handled it very calmly. No, you don't call the boss. You don't want to do that because you don't know what's happening. You deal with him and then in association her, because that's why it would be good like just from his Apple Watch to send a message that's saying I see what's going on. And I mean, I don't know how Apple Watches work. I don't know if you could just send a text from there or you have to have the phone to send it. It just picks up the message, the what you call it, notifications on the Apple phone. I don't know how it integrates because I'm not an Apple person, I'm an Android person, so I'm just talking out of my ass. But whatever way that you could send a message to both of them, that's what I would do so they would know that I was on to them and that if any more shenanigans went on, I'm kicking everybody's ass and I'm going to come down to your job and I'm going to act a zip damn fool. So do this if you want to take that risk, you know, scare them. But yeah, I don't know. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't fly with me. I would be having a problem with that. Because as you pointed out, all texts are on the watch. Okay, thanks, Susu. I that then you could have sent one to both of them and say, look here, motherfuckers, let me explain how to you how this is gonna go. You ain't going to no kind of golf, nothing. If you got free time to be going having fun, motherfucker, bring your ass home and have fun with me, your wife. Remember, that's the only bitch you should be having fun with. Now this would send me to the moon. Let's move on to question. It's so disrespectful. You know what I mean? Because everybody at your job knows that you're married, and this is how you do, and you know, in front of them, and your wife. No, that's utterly disrespectful to me, and I would have a problem with that. You know, you're not treating me in our relationship with this regard that it deserves to have around your coworkers. You're behaving in a very trifling way, and it's reflecting on me. And so once you do something like that to me, see, all all gloves come off and we about to rumble. And I'm gonna act a fool. Yeah, it's his wife, you know, and he's just acting a zip damn fool at the job. That's just, and so everybody's seeing this. That's, I don't understand these dudes. They be just so trifling and just don't even let, don't even consider their wife's feelings or how their behavior is reflecting on her by their friends and families and coworkers and stuff like that. The neighbors, everybody who sees and knows what you're doing, dudes, is reflecting on your wife and your kids. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? You just shit. That's what you are. Yeah, it's just very disrespectful. Ugh. I don't know. I couldn't. I mean, I know people don't want to get a divorce over something like this, but I would start seriously thinking about it because if, you got that little regard for me and this alleged marriage that we having a problem. You better straighten this shit up real quick. I mean, like instantaneously, like within the next 2 minutes, it better be some shit cleared up. Let's move on to question number 7. Male, 26 to 29 from Seattle, Washington. My girlfriend, who has been living with me in my apartment for the past 4 to 5 months, barely contributes financially, whether it's rent, bills, food, etc. We have similar incomes. We both work at Microsoft main office, but she has way more money saved up than me. I brought up sharing rent and electricity bill, and the response was, "Well, this is your apartment, and the electricity bill is pretty much the same since I moved in, so it's not like It's like I'm not even here. I pay all the bills, buy all the food, drinks, snacks, pretty much everything except for gas money for her car. And if she would just pay her half of the bills, which would add up to about 250 a month, I wouldn't complain. But when it's literally nothing, except for a few things here and there that adds up to like $20 a month, that's just straight up greedy in my opinion. To add on to that, I clean, do the dishes, wash clothes, I cook all the food, clean the litter box, pretty much every single chore. I'm really not getting any help here, and I'm starting to resent her for it. How do I bring this up so that she understands how frustrating it is? I've tried just explaining how it makes sense for her to pay half and how I would do the same for her part, but I can't get through. This is how you get through. You say, look, either you start paying $500 a month and don't let her get away with 250. You start paying $500 a month to contribute to these bills and get the fuck out. Because one thing, I'm not your daddy, bitch. I'm not your sugar daddy either. I'm not paying for you. Your pussy ain't that good for I would want to be inspired to do all of that. So I don't know what kind of fantasy you living under, but you gonna need the unasked $500 starting today. Give me a check, or get the fuck out of my apartment, and this shit here is over. And you gonna get out by tomorrow. Cause one thing I'm not gonna do is be treating you like you my fucking child, greedy ass bitch. Oh no, she would get. I don't know. See, this is always like these super nice guys that get these bitches type of women, and then the super nice women get asshole men. I don't understand it. Why the two nice people can't ever just get together and leave the jerks and the crazy women to each other. It just never works out that way. But I'm telling you, as a man, as if I were you, that's by the second month. Well, see, now it wouldn't even happen if for me because I would have ironed all the stuff out in the beginning. Like you gonna move in, you gonna pay this, and you gonna pay that, and you gonna pay this. I could, you could cover the rent maybe because it is your place, but she should be still chipping in on food, or you could have made her buy all the food and pay the PG&E bill or whatever they call it, the gas and light bill and stuff. and whatever else you wanted her to pay, and let's make those bills be hers, and so she pays them. But since she don't want to do that, now we're gonna up the ante. We're gonna double it. You're gonna pay 500. Why should you be saving all your paycheck and everything, and I'm going broke and can't save nothing because I'm buying food for you and myself? Whereas if you wasn't here, I'd just be paying for me. You gonna get out. That's what you gonna do. But yeah, I'll be quick to tell a bitch, your pussy ain't that good. Cause I tell men that too. Your dick ain't that good for you to be thinking you gonna be pimping somebody. Your shit is raggedy. It's not like it lasts all night and stuff, and it's like the size of King Kong or anything. I don't know what the fuck you thinking. You better get on a stick and start unassing whatever it is I want them to unass, and then we can have a conversation. But other than that, I she dusty. That's the bottom line here. Let's move on to question number 8. This is a young lady, 21 to 25, and it says, "Oops, I forgot to put the location in before I deleted the letter." Oh, that's a note from Candace. Yeah, they're not married, Mary Elizabeth. She moved in 4 to 5 months ago. That's just a girlfriend. I'm 24 and live with my mom, who's 47, and her boyfriend, who's 54, along with my sister, my young son, and a roommate. Damn, all them people in one house? All the adults pay rent, so I'm technically a tenant. Me and my mom's boyfriend has a cool relationship. My mom is absolutely a narcissist, and the other day was a really bad day with her, so her boyfriend came up to me and asked, like, want to sneak out and go drink? So I was like, yeah, absolutely. I've known him for 5 years and consider him like an uncle figure. So we went out and drank, and he kept pushing me to drink. When it comes to drinking, I have a very weak stomach, so I can't drink much. 2 pina coladas and I'm drunk. Yeah, you can't drink them sugary drinks. You would have been better to just have a martini. So we're on our way back home, and he asked me, "So you don't want any more kids?" I'm a teen mom. I had my son at 15, and the pregnancy was absolute hell. So I sworn off on any more kids, and I told him no. Then he said, "Well, I want more kids," and started making advances on me about having his baby. Ooh, these men, I tell you. Oh, you won't have to pay rent. You can follow your dreams, and I'll take care of the baby. You won't have to buy anything for it, etc., etc. I kept telling him no, and he wouldn't back off. He kept saying, "We can go to a hotel right now. We can go in your room when I come back." And then he started touching me. Not like anywhere private, but he was squeezing my upper thigh and holding my hand. We left at 9 and came back around midnight. When we got back, I immediately went into my room and called my friend's husband. Our friend group isn't weird about that stuff. We need something we can call the person's significant other. My friend and her husband came to pick me up an hour away at 1:30 a.m. You got some good friends. I was able to sneak out with my son and some clothes for a couple of days. When my mom called and asked where I was, I told her my friend had a family emergency and needed me. This happened Friday night, going into Saturday morning. I don't know if I was sexually assaulted or if he just crossed a boundary. I'm afraid to tell my mom because I know she's going to make it about her and probably not believe me. She has a history of always putting men before me and my sister. I don't want to go back, but I don't know where to go because I don't have anywhere else to go. I need help, please. How do I tell her? You contact social services and wherever you are, because Candace says, "Oops, I forgot to put it before I deleted the letter." So I don't know where you are, if you're even in the United States, but I'm going to assume that you are. But you call social services tomorrow. You tell them that you're in a crisis, that you don't have anywhere to go. Tell them what happened and that you don't feel safe there. You're worried that you're going to be assaulted. And that was your home and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And see what kind of emergency housing they can set up for you. Right? So you must have a job. You need emergency. Well, I guess you already have your daycare, unless your mother was taking care of it. Anyway, you talk to a social worker and tell them everything that you need and see what they can help you do. You'll help you get in place. And this is something you should have done it a long time ago. You don't need to be in the house with your mother and her boyfriend and all them strange people or with your kid. You need to be in some place where you and your child are safe. And so you do what you need to do to get the fuck up out of there. Tell your friends that's what you plan to do. You might have to go to another friend's house after that for a couple of days, kind of friend hop for a while until social services can get something in place for you. But this is a crisis. This is an emergency. You are about to be the victim of a criminal act. So that puts you at the top of the list for housing and everything else to protect you and your minor child. Okay, so you don't be trying to be embarrassed. Don't be trying to downplay it. Turn on the waterworks. Act hysterical. Talk about how scared you are to go back there. You lay it on thick so the social worker can get a real clear idea of how much this is a you are in crisis, and then they'll take care of it. We don't know, Tara. She just said we don't know. Because Candace erased the letter and said, "Oops, I forgot to put it before I deleted the letter." So I don't know where the little girl is. But that's what I'm going to suggest that you do. Every country, whether you're in the UK, Canada, or the United States, has some kind of, social services type program for people in the emergency situation. You might end up in some kind of shelter for, single moms. That you have your own room, you and the baby would have to share. Whatever, it'll be safe and it'll be away from them. So don't be picky. Just make sure, it's somewhere where you guys are safe. Okay, then you can work on getting better, a better situation. They usually let you stay in those shelters for as long as a year to let people save up money. You'll have to help do chores and stuff like that. But, you do chores and stuff anyway, I'm sure. So that should probably be anything unusual for you. But, you have to get out of there for now. That's your prime top priority. Then once you're in someplace safe, you're going to start saving your money, do what you need to do, build up your credit, whatever, to get your own place, even if it's a studio apartment, because it's just you and the baby. You don't need a whole bunch of space. And then y'all live there. And you'll be your own place away from them people because that's some crazy mess. And do not tell them where you are because that dude will show up at your house. Okay, and when you go to get your stuff, make sure your friend and her husband, or your friend and her husband and a couple of his friends come with you, so that the dude won't be trying to get jiggy. Because one thing an old dude is not gonna fuck with is a couple of young dudes that's buffed up and looking mean. Question number 9, female, 30 to 35 from El Paso. My new boyfriend told me he didn't get how I stayed with my ex-boyfriend for so long. It was an 8-year relationship, despite him being an emotional abuser. This has left me on edge because I feel like emotional abuse is something really hard to explain. It was something I'm still dealing with because I only understand the magnitude of the abuse after I broke up with him. And believe me, it took all my strength to be able to make it. My current relationship is a lot healthier, although I feel like my boyfriend and I see the world in a very, very different way. To him, everything is either black or white, and complex emotions are something he has a hard time with, at least now. No, if he has a hard time with it, that's his personality. He has a hard time with it. Don't say for now. That's who he is. He's 30, I'm 31, and is in therapy to treat high anxiety and moderate depression. So that might explain his lack of empathy and understanding. Also, this is his first serious relationship ever. We have been together for 2 years now, and he's 30 years old. I need him to understand me and my past. I need to feel understood and validated by the one who might be my life partner. This is a deal breaker for me, as I promised myself I wouldn't let myself be in a relationship that doesn't meet my needs. How can I make him understand how abuse works, how we normalize it, and how it evolves? Do you have any resources you could recommend? Should I even bother? Nope. You should not bother because you've already know the deal. He already told you. He lacks empathy. He's depressed and he has high anxiety. He's a fucked up individual. Why are you even with this man? See, I can't do people with mental illness, emotional problems, and all that kind of stuff. I barely have energy for me. I can't be worried about some other grown person, a kid maybe, an adult. No, you on your own. You're not sucking no energy out of Deb. I'm not going to do it. So the fact that you in this relationship with this man after being in an emotionally abusive one, that would be, yeah, because you seem to be attracted to problematic men, drama, and all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to tell you this. You've been with him for 2 years and was other fool for 8. You done wasted 10 years of your life on idiots. And you're only in the 30 to 35 age group. Girl, if you don't stop messing with these fools, you need to be in some therapy yourself because you are making some really piss poor choices in men. So now you went and told him about your past, which I always tell women not to do. Did you not listen to me? See, y'all don't listen. You do what you want to do, and then you cause yourself a problem, and then you want to write to me to solve the problem that you didn't have to have had you listened to me in the first place. So now you have a man that you're going to end up breaking up with because he's stupid, who's going to know all your personal business. So who do you think he's going to tell? Yeah, I used to have this girlfriend, and her boyfriend used to mostly abuse her. Her name was such and such, and she was this and that, and we were together. So now this man knows all your business. And you, every relationship you go in, you're gonna be spilling your guts and telling them about how you was treated at the hands of some clown that's not even in your life anymore. Shut your mouth. You don't ever tell a man that some shit like that. You don't ever tell a man about your past abuse, criminal things that happened to you, how somebody else treated you, how good some other man's eggplant was, what kind of problems you had in your other relationship. None of that shit is his business. As far as he's been here, you landed on this earth the day that he met you. That's it. Unless you have kids by some man that you have to continue a relationship with because he has visitation and all this stuff. Okay, well then that person counts. Everybody else is like, what are you talking about? I don't know. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Don't ask. You don't volunteer no information. And if he asks you, you say, I'm not going to talk about anything that happened before the day I met you. That's when our life began together, and that's what we're going to talk about. That's it. Stop talking. Stop telling me in all your fucking business. This is stupid. So see, because you opened your big mouth and told him some shit he didn't even need to know, because it's not going to help your relationship. See, this is my thing. You start talking about all this stuff. How do you think this helped your relationship with this man? Why would you tell him that? Is it going to make him be more in love with you? Or is that what you were planning on? You thought he was going to feel sorry for you and give you extra kudos and cuddles and all this kind of stuff like you're a fucking puppy? Is that what you wanted? Obviously, he's a man. He's not going to do that. None of them do. But you know what they do? They look at you like you're stupid because you stayed in a situation where you were getting hurt over and 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 over, and you stayed. So you know what that does for the new boyfriend? It makes him know that you're stupid, that you have no self-esteem, no boundaries, no pride. And then you wonder why he has no empathy and concern for you. How is he supposed to when he can see that you're stupid? See, and I'm talking harsh to you because, yes, I have sympathy for young girls who don't know they're being emotionally abused and all this kind of stuff. But even then, it's kind of hard because you were living in the age of Google. When I was growing up, there was no such thing. You had to go to the library and read in encyclopedias and stuff like that. There was no internet. Now y'all can sit and you can sit on the bus on your phone and read all about emotional abuse and narcissism and everything else to educate yourself. So today, see, there's no excuse for this kind of ignorance and to stay in a relationship with somebody who's treating you like this for 8 years. Yet you did it. And then you got to turn around and tell somebody and try to think they're going to feel sorry for you. No, they're going to feel sorry for you. They're going to think you're the dumbest bitch walking. That's what they're going to think. That's why you don't tell people that kind of stuff. You keep that kind of shit to yourself when you were stupid. Okay? Nothing. You don't say nothing to nobody about your past relationships. It's none of their goddamn business. Male, female, friends, family, nobody. Nobody needs to know. Shut the fuck up. Talk about some shit like what you read in a magazine or read on Facebook or something like men do. They talk about innocuous bullshit. That's what you need to do. Y'all want to spill your guts and tell everything. And then you have all problems like this and me wasting my time when I already told you 800 times not to do shit like this. Yeah, they know everything. Now, I'm sure you told them the dude's name and where you lived and all the stuff he said and all kind of stuff that you didn't have no business talking about. Broads be wanting to talk about their abortions and this who punched them and all kind of stuff that you don't need to be telling no man, really nobody, but definitely not a man, definitely not a man that you would dealing with. Shut the fuck up. If more women just looked at themselves and just shut up, stop fucking talking so much. I just want to hear your voice. Just running that out the mouth, talking about nothing. Oh my God. Yeah, the first week, cutie, they be doing this sometimes on the first date and just spilling their guts. Well, I just wanted him to know. And then, or they do something like they broke up or something, and then they slept with somebody else. Okay, you were broken up, so guess what? That don't count. And then you go back. Well, should I tell him? Why would you want to tell him that? How is that going to help your relationship? See, y'all don't be thinking. You just running off at the mouth and your brain is not engaged. Thank you, Tara. Yes, it does, because it's like I've said this so many times. There's like a dozen videos on this channel telling women to shut up and why you need to shut up. And yet they don't listen, and then they cause themselves problems, and then we get a letter like this. So I'm going to tell Candace, if you get any more letters like this with some bride's mouthing off and telling some shit she don't need to be saying, don't include it in the column. That just let her fucking figure it out because I already said it. She asked the exact same thing. I mean, this is so stupid. But Danny, refer her to this video or one of the videos on the channel. There's one that has like a zipper lips kind of graphic on it with zipper telling women to shut up. That's the I don't know the URL of it right now, but it's on the channel. It's in the woman, Desk for Women playlist. Let's move on to question number 10. This is a young man in North York, Canada. My girlfriend threw my shoe out the window this morning because I didn't want to have eggplant with her. Honestly, I'm 99% sure I'm done with her. Normally, she just pesters or complains when I turn down intimacy. This was some next level shit, though. She's never been violent in the past, and this was the first time she did something physical, but I am so through. I can't even get my shoe back, Deb, because it's a huge construction site next to our building, and they're knocking stuff down as I write this. I'm tired of the tension around intimacy. She won't change anything. We've tried to talk, and it never ends up fixing anything for good, so why bother? The problem is she said so many things about how I don't care about her or love her. My love is conditional, that I'm selfish, controlling, misogynistic. I'm supposed to make her feel beautiful, you name it. Now I feel like if I leave, I'm just proving all that true. She has no one but me except online friends who take her side, but she doesn't know them in real life. She'd be on her own. I take care of the bulk of expenses. If we break up, where would she go? To hell where she belongs. Why is this even a question? Why do you care? See, so the fact that you focused on that, you're gonna stay in this situation and she gonna up the ante because you don't do nothing because you're a spineless wimp. You sitting up there instead of worrying about how this woman is disrespecting you and your property, you're more focused on where she gonna go and the fact that she don't have any friends. You know what I would tell her? Let me tell you what I would tell her. Okay, she threw out your shoe out the woman. I would have went right to her wallet and the cost of that pair of shoes, I would have snatched it out of her wallet and said, I'm going to buy my a pair of shoes, replace that one, and that's it. That's how this gonna go. Anything you damage or throw away or lose of mine, break it, lose it, what, throw it out, you gonna pay for it. Okay, now, then if she didn't like that, you say, see, this is why nobody wanna fuck with you. Cause you act like a fucking beast. You act like you don't have no tone training. Where's your feminine wiles? You don't have any. You act like a fucking truck driver. Like just gimme, like a cave woman or something. That shit is a turn off. Don't my dick don't get hard for no shit like that. So all you doing is making the problem worse. And then I would tell her, that's why you don't have any friends, because you don't know how to treat people and you don't know how to act. I don't even know what I saw in your stupid dank ass. I'm going to leave you. I want you to get out of my apartment. And if she didn't want to get out, then you know what you would do? You would give 30 days notice and move. Since you pay most of the expenses and the apartment is yours, then when the check comes for the what you call it, deposit return, that'll be your money. I hope you have money in the bank. Go and find you a new place and rent it by yourself. And they tell her, well, I'm moving. You need to be out by this date here because that's the date that the lease is up and they'll be coming in to take over the apartment. And you need to find somewhere to move. See, that's how I would do. You either leave or I'm leaving. And if I'm leaving, you either going to pay the rent all by yourself and every other bill here because I'm turning all this shit off in my name. And then that's just going to be your problem. You're going to be sitting up in the dark, in the cold, in an empty apartment wondering what the fuck happened because you threw my shoes out the window. Nah, you wasted your life with this chick, dude. Question 11, female, 26 to 30 from Coventry, England. My fiance says he won't be able to supply money for our wedding despite working nonstop, and I need your opinion on our relationship. What is there to say? Okay, I'm curious now. Look at this long ass letter. We're 26. We got engaged 5 months ago. We dated a year. The amount of money might confuse you because we live in another country, but I refer to it as US dollars to keep it simple. We're both dentists. Our average income monthly is $10,000. Wow, which changes from time to time. When we first started, he expressed he was going to help his older brother financially get married since his brother partially helped him through college. Even though his wife and him decided to get married after us, we waited until they got engaged to start our marriage process. Okay, he did everything he could during their marriage. He worked very hard and made $250,000 over 2 years and gave every penny to his parents to help with Dan's expenses. Dan also works and made the same amount of money by himself doing all this. So that means Dan then and the parents had $500,000 between them. When I stated that we needed money for our ceremony at home, Rick claimed that his parents would save the money he earned for us too. I didn't think this was likely and encouraged him to save money by himself, which he didn't. After Dan and his wife got married, I noticed that Rick was still handing the same amount of money to his parents. We work in the same company, so I can check how much he makes and vice versa. I once again asked him not to do that since we need to rent an apartment and start buying furniture. He said it was okay and his parents were saving the money for us. 5 months into our marriage and 3 months into Dan's, Rick's parents wanted to talk to me. They said they had no money to help us whatsoever. The reason was Dan's wedding expenses, which was not an expensive ceremony at all. It was cheap because of the pandemic. I know that wedding cost 100,000 tops, so that means they had $500,000. So where's the rest of that money? Rick, Dan, and their father made a total of 600,000 in 2 years and didn't spend much for anything other than Dan's wedding and the father's car, 80 grand. Rick says we need to borrow money or get a loan for 2, 3 years after we get married, which I refused, and once again requested him to get the money he earned from his parents, but he says that money is gone and we need to look ahead. I feel stuck and stressed. I earned as much as Rick did and would pay for my share of wedding and goods, unlike Dan's sister, Dan's wife, who didn't pay for anything at all. This will cost us around 120,000 tops, so we'll share 60,000, 60,000. But he says he doesn't know where to get 60,000 from. He says he needs to work too hard for 3 months until our marriage, but that's what he's been doing all his time. I feel hopeless for our future and feel deceived. He makes me depressed. I have no motivation to buy things for the house because I don't want to pay with loaned money. We'll be seeing someone for premarital counseling tomorrow. I feel like it's too late to postpone the wedding. We already rented the apartment, and also pointless because the family would keep getting the money until marriage, and us getting married would put a stop to that. Maybe I'm lying to myself, but I love this man so much. I don't want to see red flags. It's really hard to accept reality sometimes. What should I do here? Slap yourself. Slap yourself and wake up from this stupid coma that you're in. This man is using you, and so his family's using him. And by turn, he's using you because he's not holding up his fair share of the relationship. He wants to get a loan. See, and once you get married and you get the loan, then if he decides not to pay it, you're just going to be on the hook for that money. You. So what you need to do is dip out now. Say, well, look, I can see that you and I are not on the same page, the way that we relate to family and our boundaries with money and things of that nature. So I'm going to dip out because I'm feeling like I'm paying for you like you're a child. I'm not saying where you're, holding up your fair end of the bargain here. I don't want to be on the hook for a loan just to marry you. You ain't that great and your dick ain't that spectacular. So I'm going to move on. Deuces, and I wish you and your parents and your sorry brother and his wife the best. And be out. You too focused on getting married, not on the man and the family that you're marrying into. And that's what you need to refocus and reframe. What is it that you were thinking that you're going to be getting out of here? About a bunch of debt and some crazy money hungry bitches. Okay? You good, because soon as that happened, he started giving them money, I would have been out. It's like, no, your brother and his you could give him $10,000 for a wedding present or something. But other than that, you better be putting that money in account for us. And if he balked at that and said anything other than, yes, you're right, then we wouldn't be getting married and I would have moved out and that would have been that. I wouldn't have had to write this letter. So you need to rethink this because you're thinking they're just going to stop if you get married. What's going to happen is just more of the same. And then he might even be giving them more money because he could dip into your account then since you'll be married. Did you think of that? You need to get out of this situation. This guy. I don't know what kind of relationship they have with his parents, but his parents are big pimping, and it's kind of amazing. Let's move on to question number 12. This is a female in the 56 to 65 age group from San Francisco. Dear Deb, this is a question about men, but not dating. After COVID, my gym opened up. I take yoga classes, and we practice in the studio with glass doors and walls to the street. This morning, an older 60s male stood outside and stared at us as we exercised. I noticed him and waited for him to go on his way, but he didn't. I was uncomfortable with him when I first noticed him and got more so the longer he stood outside looking at us. He was a well-to-do white male. I spoke to the instructor after class, a strapping young white man. He said he saw the guy too, but didn't get any sense of anything wrong. LOL, why would he? He's not a woman. The gym is small in a nice, wealthy neighborhood, so people think it's safe. I don't think this way. I feel safer at my last gym in a not-so-nice neighborhood. People mind their own business. I resented this entitled male making exercising women into a perv show. It really pissed me off. There are some vulnerable clients, old people, pregnant women. Who knows what he's looking for? I wrote the gym owners about what happened. Since there are different instructors and clients all the time, people might not have noticed him or thought it was just a one time event. I'm confident the owners will be on red alert for this guy. I wrote, if I see him again, I'm getting his picture. Otherwise, I'm leaving it all up to the gym to take action if this continues. What do you think, especially as a former trainer? Is there anything you advise that I do or not do? Um, I can tell you, I've had situations, we're in the gym and guys I thought were being inappropriate with the female, with my female clients or with other women that were in the gym. They were hovering around them. They kept following them around the gym, staring at, like not staring, leering at them and that kind of stuff. And I always put a stop to it. I'll be with my clients. I'll be back in 1 second. I give them some exercise to do, knock out 12 reps, rest 30 seconds, and then by the time you get ready for second set, I'll be back. And I go over and talk to the guys like, what are you doing? You're making the female clients in here uncomfortable. Mind your business. Keep your eyes to yourself. If you don't do it, and I get any more reports that the women feel you're leering at them and it's making them uncomfortable, I'm going to get security to take you out of here. I'm serious. And they would always look shocked because it's like, they didn't think anybody noticed. And they especially didn't think anybody was going to tell them about it. But I didn't give a fuck. When I was on duty as the floor trainer, I ran that gym. I would tell them take them weights off. There's one dude he didn't put the clip on. The weights best slipped and he dislocated his shoulder. We had to get him out of there in an ambulance. And I had told him to put the clip on and he didn't do it. And so he's doing his bench press and his muscles started failing and he, went down and the weight slid off and it landed on him, messed up his shoulder. And so then when he was going out, I said, I told you what to do and you didn't do it. Now look what happened. So you think I was going to give him pity? I rubbed this shit in, put salt in the wound. Just flung it, Morton salt. Choo, 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 choo. And so that's how I handle things. Now, the teacher, the yoga instructor's response was inappropriate. His role is not only to teach, but to make sure that the clientele is in a comfortable and safe atmosphere. The gym should install blinds, which blinds, to prevent things like that. When there's no one in the yoga studio, they can roll the blinds up or open them, or however they do it. Shades, whatever they want to do. But there should be some an element of privacy for the women who are in the yoga class. They should do that, and that would be my recommendation. Alternatively, if you were like me, I would have got up and walked out and went to tell that dude, get the fuck away from here. What are you doing? Nobody wants you staring at them like that. Fucking pervert. But see, everyone's not mouthy and evil like me. But that's what I would have done. I don't know why you sitting there looking at you, looking at them like a bug under a fucking microscope. Get out of here, old dried up fool. We in here trying to get our exercise on. We're not trying to be having you peeping on us like that. Fucking freak. I don't like that. But that's that would be a suggestion I would make to the gym to ask them about putting some blinds up or shades or something, Venetian blinds or, shades that roll down and see what they say. Yeah, either that or you got to go to a different place. Question number 13, male, 21 to 25 from Denver, Colorado. Hi, Auntie Deb, Candace, and the squad. I'm a 25-year-old freelancer and student, so I'm getting busy with work, and I don't have time and energy for serious relationships. I try to be as friendly as possible in all situations, but apparently that's sending the wrong signal to my female friend, who is somewhere in the 25 to 30-year-old age range. Even I am not able to meet her due to work and the pandemic. I don't want to be rude, but I want to convey how I feel in a soft way over chat or call, as doing it hard might end up hurting her, and I can't afford that since my friends are everything. How do I tell her I just want to be your friend? Hmm. So you must be getting she's signal that she's interested in you. Well, you're going to have to do it in a way you don't want to do it directly and hard. So what I would suggest is you say, it's just really hard it's hard being me because, young guy, you think about having a relationship and stuff, but I just really don't have the time right now. I just don't have the energy. It wouldn't be fair to a girl to be trying to be in a relationship with me because I would be ignoring her 90% of the time. And I just don't have it in me. So, how do you think I should tell girls that? Because I had a couple of girls that I thought was kind of interested, and I need to know how when should I tell them that I don't want a relationship? What do you think? Flip that shit around on her. So then see her stutter and sputter and try to figure out what she should tell you since y'all is friends. You say, since you're my good friend of mine, what do you think I should do? I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I do feel like it's only fair that I let them know I'm not available before they get their hopes up. So what kind of ideas do you have? See how I flip that around? That's what you do. She'll know you're talking about her, but you don't really be talking about her. So what can she say, right? And that'll get her off your back. And you can use that same tactic with any of your other female friends. Question number 14, female 21 to 26 in the Bay Area. Hello, Deb. I'm dealing with some harsh energies while living with my family. I'm an empath and I'm a very sensitive person and always have been. My family, on the other hand, are very insensitive, particularly towards me. I feel very bullied by them as they're always bagging on me and saying things that make me feel self conscious. I'm trying to not take it personally, but their attacks are always very personal and belittling. My cousin also is very passive aggressive and always threatens me without actually doing it, so that if I say anything, I'll look like I'm the one starting mess. Now my younger cousin, who is 7, is also becoming like them. He says things that are extremely rude. I try to ignore him because he's a child, but some things he says really hurts me because I can tell he picked it up from the adults. Talking about me behind my back. He's made fun of my weight, called me lazy, broke, told me I need to sleep outside, amongst other things. He also hits me all the time, sometimes with his toys, and swings his bat at me as well. One time he even spit in my face. And he's still living? I try to tell him to stop, but every time I do, my aunt says I'm picking on him and tells me to leave him alone. They say right in front of him that he will never respect me, which only reinforces his behavior. When I tell them to stop hitting me instead of disciplining him, they just say, stop, we don't want to hear her mouth, as if I am the problem. I've saved $12,000 moving to my own apartment, but in the meantime, what can I do about this disrespectful child and these disrespectful people? Oh, hell to the no. Go to your auntie and say, look here, bitch. The next time your child throws anything at me, swings a bat at me, hits me, or spits on me, I'm going to knock his fucking ass out. I'm telling you right now. And if you have any problem with that bitch, your ass is next. I'm tired of you motherfuckers. I've been as nice as I can be. I'ma put that little bitch kid of yours through a fucking wall. I'ma hope I throw him down the stairs. I'ma break every bone in his body. If he dies, it won't be too soon enough for me. And you know why it would happen? Because I'll be defending myself against your child who is attacking me with an instrument that could cause me bodily harm. And it won't be shit you could do about it because under the law, that's self-defense. I'ma try to kill that little motherfucker. And you better, I'm telling you right now, you better watch your fucking kid, keep that goddamn kid away from me. And anything he does, be ready, bitch, because I'm about to put your kid in a fucking hospital. And you try to come at me about it, your ass is going to be right in there with him. Now. But see, it seems like you don't have that kind of energy, but you better find it. That's why they keep bullying you, because you just let him. You just not saying anything. You're not speaking up. You're not defending yourself. He hit you, hit him back. He swings a bat at you, snatch, get your own bat and swing it at him. Fight fire with a flamethrower. I'm telling you, he swings at you. You make sure you connect. Knock his little ass across the room. I bet you he won't be doing that shit again. Or drop kick him. Kick him. He swings his bat at you and spits on you or something. Kick him in his fucking stomach and push him, fly him across the room. So you don't be spitting on me, you little motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck you think you doing. He would not want to be doing that to me. I wouldn't give a fuck if he was 7. You ain't going to live to 8, little nigga. You keep it up. And let auntie come in there and try to do something. That bitch would be flying across the wall too. No, no. But you're 25 years old. It's time for you to get the fuck out. You need to go to one of those places where they find you an apartment. Don't go on Craigslist because too many scammers on there. Go to some kind of reputable company, real estate agent or something like that. Try to find a house share where you have a roommate, a 2 bedroom, 2 bath apartment. Usually they have two master bedrooms, like the central area is the kitchen and a living room, dining area, and then this side is 1 bedroom suite, and this side is one of the other bedroom suite, so that the central area is in between. You want to find somebody who's quiet and studious like you and move in there. You save $12,000. That's way more than enough to move into any place. And you got a job and everything. You can do this. Get out. And then don't never come back and don't ever let them come to your place. Anytime they want to come, say, no, that's impossible because I have a roommate. We have an agreement, no company. But I'm telling you, that kid, you swing at me if you want to. That'll be the last swing your little ass. I'm gonna break your fucking arms. You won't be swinging nowhere else. Kick him in his stomach, knocked all the wind out of him, have him down there like my brother did when my daddy punched him in the chest, thinking he was gonna regulate on somebody. My father showed him a thing or two, and it's the same kind of thing with a 7-year-old. How he gonna be trying to hit you and spit on you? And they're teaching him violence against women and just letting him get away with it. That's why I would teach him violence against children. Say, if you're not gonna hit me, I don't know who you think you're gonna be hitting. Yes, this is horrible. This is physical, emotional, psychological, mental, all kind of abuse that you're sitting there taking. Get the fuck out of that place. But you beat that little boy's ass first. Tell that auntie what you're gonna do. If she asks to get you a baseball bat, and if you need to, you go and you practice swinging it because each of them are different lengths and different weights. But you want to be able to swing it. You plant your feet with one foot. What? Look at some baseball things and look at how they plant their feet. So one foot is in front of the other one, so their weight is centered and balanced. So when they're swinging, they're still steady. So they're not losing their balance and going off. You want to practice that stance. The police use the same stance when they shoot. And you want to take that bat and you want to practice swinging it. You're going to swing from the shoulder and use your core muscles here and rotate your trunk and have all the power in the world. And you just start breaking people's motherfuckers' bones. They won't be messing with you anymore. Yeah, she does. She got 12 grand. That's plenty of money. Shit, that's more than I ever had when I was moving. I tell you that. And it did not stop me. I moved in a heartbeat. A little ratty place. I didn't give a shit. I was out. Where are you again? Oh, you just say Bay Area. Well, wherever you are, you look for a room share. Rents are going down though, so many people, are going to be out of work, and it's going to be really easy to get a place in a minute when this rent moratorium thing comes up and all these people start getting evicted. You'll be able to get you a nice place cheap because there's going to be a whole bunch of landlords with empty units, desperate for somebody to move in there. So you should be able to get you a nice little place, get you a little studio. That's all you need. Question number 15. This is a female, 22.5 to 29 from San Diego. As long as I can think, I've never been interested in real, quote, normal relationships. Even as a child, I used to dream of the impossible. Never been attracted to the white picket fence lifestyle and 3 dogs and a cat and that kind of thing. Or being anybody's princess. The whole thing never appealed to me. As an adult, all the relationships I've ever had were either with committed men or married men. They weren't that committed or married if they was messing with you. Now let's think about that, right? Or high risk men, which means they had extremely dangerous jobs or jobs abroad in a high risk environment or like military, Air Force, etc., etc. Right now I'm single. I'm quite satisfied with my lifestyle overall, but I've been thinking recently about my upbringing and my state of mind and also my emotional situation. What I'm attracted to is not normal. It's actually the exact opposite of what everyone else I know is attracted to, which is for the most part emotional security, commitment, dependability, monogamy, stability, etc. All of this just doesn't apply to me. And while I'm quite happy with the way I'm currently living, I'm still curious if there would be any benefit to changing this way of thinking. I'm not saying I can change it because I probably can't. What's ingrained in my brain is pain is ingrained in my brain, right? No. I guess the only reason I'm asking this in the first place is because I feel like even though I am appreciated and loved by my community, I've always felt like I'm different. I'm either single or I'm with somebody who's not marriage material. And while I'm not really having a problem with being different, I'm wondering if I would be happy if I were like them. But then again, how do I find a man in my late 40s with my history that would commit to me for the me and would capture my heart, given that I'm used to extreme highs and lows? Are there any guys out there who are similar to the guys I used to date in the past, extreme risk takers in all areas of life? And like I said, I'm quite satisfied and happy living by myself. trauma like you do, because even though in spite of what you say, that's a person who has this kind of outlook usually has suffered some kind of emotional trauma, and that's your way of dealing with it. To stay distant, separate, uncommitted. You intentionally choose partners who cannot commit and unwilling to commit, so you never get questioned about it. You never have to really delve into that side of yourself. I would think that you should get some therapy, chick. Let me tell you why. You in your late 40s and you looking for people to still be a risk taker. Don't you know these motherfucking men are old? They're old and so are you. Okay? Just face facts. It's the time for all that danger, risk taking stuff. You do that in your teens, 20s, and maybe 30s. You on the downstroke to 50 years old, ain't nobody taking no risk. Shit, motherfuckers can barely move. Everybody's hips hurting and back and shit. And they ain't gonna be taking no risks. People have been through the mill. Okay, their hearts are tired. Their minds are tired. Their spirits are tired. They just want to do something where they can coast the rest of their life and be happy. That's what more mature adults. I'm just saying, Tansy, you know it's true. Shit, bitch, you old. And so is these motherfuckers you talking about. So it's like, I don't understand. You need to like come into the decade of life that you are in and rethink this because, these extreme risk takers at 50, that does not exist. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, but you could probably find somebody who's, doesn't want to live together and, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you don't have to live with somebody to have a good relationship with them. That's not really necessary. But I'm thinking that, you know, most guys, when they're mature like that and you have a steady kind of mind, they are not going to understand why you would not want to be with them, living together and be a like close couple and stuff. So that's why I'm saying I would recommend that you get some counseling to figure out why you have. Okay, not that you had to have a different choice when you were younger, but why you think at almost 50 that this is a lifestyle that you should still pursue. There's no hope in this, there's no future. Unless you're okay with being alone, you say you're happy with it, then, just be that way. But the chances of you finding somebody who's going to be this extreme risk taker in all aspects of life at 50 are I mean, they're so slim, they anorexic. Okay? As you could give that dream up. That's not going to happen. So get you some therapy and then figure out what it is you really want and then go after it. Because you're kind of all over the place. You're like, oh, I don't mind having to be, a risk taker. This is how I've always been. But then I don't mind this and that. But I just don't really want to be, living with somebody and stuff. But then I do want somebody who's going to be committed. You were everywhere over this. So that's what I'm saying. You need some therapy so you can focus on what it is that you really, really want because you have me confused. But all I know is I'm going to tell you this. You're old now, so your little fantasy of having some kind of wild, skydiving fling is over. Question 16, female 26 to 29 from Washington, D.C. I met a guy on an online dating app. Oh, first mistake. He started chatting with me, asking what I do during the day, and he is also very open about his own life. He kept telling me what he was up to, where he went, and who he hung out with, and always asked about everything I was doing without any hint of a date. Then, in one of our conversations, he said he's about to leave to another state in 7 months because of his job, and he will live there for 3 years. Really now? After hearing that, I said, let's just be friends. I will not date anyone who's about to leave. He agreed without any hesitation. Then he kept on texting 3 times a day, continued with the same pattern as if I had never asked him to be friends. He said he would hang out with me at a certain time, but he never did. He apologized anytime he was able to message me. I told him he's acting as if he wants to be more than friends. He said, it's true, I like you, but you said you only want to be friends. Otherwise, I'd go on a date with you. I told him, let's try and give it a chance, even if you have to leave soon. Some relationships only last a few months anyway, and he agreed. We set up a date, but now I feel a bit unsure. I do not feel the sparks when I talk to him, which is why I offered friendship to begin with. But we get along so well. Chatting with him is so easy. But what if even after we meet, I feel no sparks? Will this ruin a potentially great friendship with him? Should I cancel the date before it's too late? Yes, and block him. What is this with you guys? You said no. You said, I don't want to get involved with somebody who's leaving soon. And then the next thing, just because he texts you a few more times and stuff, suddenly you change your mind. Oh, well, let's be friends. And, yeah, okay, then, yeah, let's just go on a date. Look, you don't mean shit that you say. You know what happens when women have an attitude like this, where they say one thing and don't mean what they say and do all kind of other shit? Men don't take you seriously. They think you're stupid. And you know why? Because you act stupid. There's no reason for you to have said, all this all definitively, let's just be friends. And then he kept texting, you supposed to block him when you said that. You went online looking for friends. That's what you were supposed to tell him. Well, it's no point in talking to you because I'm not online looking for a friend. I have plenty of friends. So, I'm just going to move on and I'm going to block you. So, bye bye. This doesn't make any sense. And then you're worrying about when he texts and then he said he was going to hang out and all this. You're all over the place. And it just means that you don't mean anything that you said to this man. He knows that. So then don't be surprised you go out with him, right? And you're going to be like the girl before. You say, well, no, I don't want to, bone you. No, I don't want you to touch me. No, I don't want you to kiss me. And so, but he's going to see that you already had this pattern of not meaning what you say. You say, no, no, no. And then you turn around and do something else. That's the shit that gets women in trouble. Weak ass bitches, stop it. It drives me fucking crazy. You don't have no kind of spine. You don't stand up for nothing that you say. You just let somebody send you a few texts and ask you to go out and then you change your mind and you fold like a bad poker hand and give him what he wants. Did you want to be with the man or not? Say what the fuck you mean and mean what you say. This is stupid. It's just ridiculous that this is even happening. All of this within a week or two just by text, and you don't have no kind of boundaries, no kind of spine. You say shit, don't mean it. Say something, go back on it, twist around and flip around and give him exactly what he wanted. And knowing he already told you, I'm leaving town. So you going to get your feelings all involved in the situation you already told him you didn't want to be in and just be friends, but you're going to do it anyway. So don't say nothing. When you get yourself all fucked over, don't write me. Don't. Question 17, female, 37 to 45, from San Francisco. Dear Deb, could I please get your take on something? A friend shared something I told them in confidence in mixed company. I apologize since I know you dislike Trump. Girl, dislike is just like so mild. But I voted for him in 2016. No, you did not. I later came to feel very embarrassed. I voted for him and I regretted it. In 2021, I voted for Biden-Harris. I generally tend to keep my political views to myself, but I confided my regret over voting for Trump to my friend, quote, Steve. We have been platonic friends for 15 years, and he's more liberal. We had multiple conversations about it, and during each one, at least two in person, I asked Steve to please keep my having voted for Trump in confidence since I felt so embarrassed about it. We sometimes would also Facebook message about things, including politics, during which I asked him at least 3 other times to please again keep it quiet. But a few months back, when we were together celebrating his birthday with 2 other people, let's call them Jane and Joe, who are married, Steve and I, we've known these people for several years, but we are getting to know her new husband, who is openly liberal. Anyway, during the birthday get-together, Joe brought up something political, and Steve outed my having voted for Trump. Steve turned to me and said, and I still cannot believe you voted for Trump. I could not believe it. I was so mortified and embarrassed and furious. I had asked Steve on so many previous occasions to keep that confidential. Steve has shown good discretion during all the previous years I've known him. He keeps his mouth shut about people getting fired, pregnancies, miscarriage, cancer, etc. In any case, I felt torn in that moment. A part of me wanted to ask Steve what the fuck he was trying to do by outing me, given that I had asked him multiple times to keep it confidential. Another part of me did not want to cause a scene, so I decided to approach him privately. In any case, Joe and Steve proceeded to jump all down my throat about how I could have voted that way. It was so uncomfortable. A few weeks later, when I calmed down, I called Steve to tell him what was really bothered by him breaking my confidence. He said, sorry, but I didn't mean to address, but did not really address why he did it. I have a hard time thinking it was an accident, so I know considering entering our friendship over this incident. If I had not specifically asked Steve to keep it quiet, I find it hard to believe anyone would not know that is going to cause a reaction. What do you think, Deb? How would you have handled a friend breaking your confidence and spilling something so controversial? And worse yet, wondering why they did that deliberately. Thank you. Oh, no, 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 no. Deb fights fire with a flamethrower. He's telling something that you told him not to say. Did you suppose to, in that very instance, pull something out that he told you not to tell people about and spill all the guts you have? As a matter of fact, he only told one thing. You're supposed to say 10. And say, yeah, and let me tell you about this. And this other time he did this and that, and he said this and that. And this motherfucker had the nerve to do blah, blah, blah. I would have said everything. You know why? Because he needs to see how that feels. for somebody to break your confidence and mix company and try to get some social media cred or something and have something to bully somebody about. That's what I'm saying. That's how I do stuff. I would have missed the beat. I just looked at him thinking, okay, that's what we're doing, and proceeded to just read him. I would have said all kind of shit. You know what I would? Then he would have got up and ran out. Because I would say, oh, no, 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 wait. It's a good idea to be telling secrets, right? Come on back here. Be a man. I got 5 more I need to tell. Yeah, your ED, all kinds of stuff. Shut up, Mary Elizabeth. But that's how I do things. If we doing a clown show, let me participate. You know, I carry my red nose in my backpack. Put that sucker on and go to town. Like, yes, let me perform now, Steve. Nah, Steve would have had to get clowned. But in any case, this, you're embarrassed. The best thing for you to do, young lad, young lady, I mean, is to understand that, see, guilt and all that kind of stuff, that doesn't exist in my world, because everything that I do it because I want to do it. I want to do it. So if I wanted to vote for Trump, even though I realized later that that was a very stupid decision, I would still own it. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. So in a situation like that, when they say, yeah, I did, I made a stupid decision, but I'm sure you made plenty of stupid decisions too, right? And then if they made some stuff that they did was stupid, that would be the time to throw it out there. But you just met the husband, but the woman, and Steve, so that would be the time when you start spilling guts. So I'm not the only one that's made a stupid decision here. So don't get started. Let's not go too far with this, because the other way, start pulling out shit that's gonna hurt your feelings too. And then I would proceed to do it. you know. Now, Steve would not want to fuck with me after that. Because Steve's business would be out in there. I mean, the time you kissed a man, remember that when you was in college? And you kissed that boy and you claimed that it was because you was drunk? People don't just kiss other men because they was drunk, Steve. They kissing men because that's what they wanted to do, and they use the liquor as an excuse. Did you always know that you had that side? Hmm. That was real interesting. Yeah, I know I said I was going to keep it a secret, but since we're spilling secrets today, seemed like a good time to share that story with Joe and Jane. Stuff like that. Yep. Steve would be crying in his drink when I got through with him, and he would never, ever, ever want to do anything like that to me again. But he wouldn't get a chance because I'd be through with that friendship. But I'd have to clown him first. I have to leave, like, it has to be an event when I leave. I can't just leave quietly. There has to be like a bonfire, like, the waiting to exhale kind of, Portia flambe. I mean, I'm talking like that level where shit is just exploding. I have to leave on that kind of note. So I have to leave with people devastated, hair blown back, skin blown off, all kind of stuff happening. I just can't leave quietly. I'm going to leave and you're going to be fucked up and you're going to remember what I said for the rest of your life and how you felt. That's what I want. And I'm going to say all kind of shit to fuck you up just because I can. Let's move on. Question number 18. This is a female, 26 to 29, from Yonkers, New York. My boyfriend is 35, but he says he doesn't want children anymore. We recently lost our baby pretty late in the pregnancy. Aw. And I was and am still devastated. I'm 27. I really want to be a mom. And I really wanted the baby we lost. He was upset when we lost her and claims he wanted her, but he also said terrible things to me when I was pregnant. Like me and the baby were just mistakes in his life, and he was only taking care of me because it was the right thing to do. Oh, he did. Now he says he doesn't want kids anymore and that he wants to live his life and be free. And I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm at a crossroads where I have to either be okay with being childless and knowing my one shot at it was taken away from me, or I have to leave him and start my whole life over again. I moved countries to be with him and I don't work. I uprooted my entire life from him and now I'm scared of my options and I feel lost. I don't know what to do. So you're in the United States, what, under some kind of visa or something? Because he's just a boyfriend. You move countries. Okay, there's a lot here that that would impact my response. So I'm not really sure what your citizenship situation is and what's going on here. But whatever it is, you're not this he doesn't want to be with you anymore. Okay. If someone that tells you like that you and the baby were mistakes in his life and he was only taking care of you because it was the right thing to do, that means that you need to hit up social services, what kind of refugee program they have or whatever your situation is, and figure out what to do to get away from this man, because this situation right here could turn very abusive. You want to get out of there, and you want to get out of there now. It's fine that going to be a mother, but you don't need to be a mother unless you're married. Okay? You don't just go around breeding for miscellaneous stray boyfriends. That is a very bad habit that a lot of young women have, and I just don't understand it. If a man doesn't care enough about you to make you his wife, then you shouldn't care enough about him replicating his DNA. Stop giving them wife privileges when they are nothing but miscellaneous baby daddy boyfriends. I swear to God. You want to be a mother, then go and get some artificial insemination or something. But first get your situation situated so to make sure you are in a home and somewhere. You might have to leave New York and go someplace where it's less expensive, or somewhere they have a good refugee, transplant, whatever they have program for people who come from other countries and don't have any resources. Okay, uprooted your whole life for a boyfriend. What you do that for? I wouldn't even move to another city for a motherfucking boyfriend. And you done move countries? Where they do that at? But you look into what resources, what help you can get. You might only be able to get help to get back to your country. I mean, I don't know what, you didn't really put enough information here for me to make an educated kind of uh, response to you. But I'm just giving you generalities. There are programs like that available. Check with social services in Yonkers, New York. Check with the Department of Immigration in New York, the state of New York, and see what kind of stuff they have for people in your situation. Okay? Because he's not interested in doing whatever he was doing to get you over here anymore. Let's move on to question 19. This is a young lady in the 26 to 29 age group from Little Rock, Arkansas. I run a small thrift business with my boyfriend's sister, and our inventory is stored at her house. She lives with her mom. Today, I caught her mom wearing one of my items that I had stocked up to sell. It was a good brand, and I could have made some decent money off of it. I asked her where she got it, and she got very defensive and told me that she found it in your stuff and ripped the tag off. I needed something to wear to work. You want money? It was one of those things that catch you in the moment and you freeze, thinking of what to say. So I nervously laughed and said, "Oh, just keep it. It's my way of paying you for storing our stuff here." She didn't even bat an eye after that. I guess what bothers me the most is the dishonesty, disrespect, and theft from our shop. How do I go on from this? It's really put a damper in the mom of my relationship. I really don't trust her anymore, and I've lost a lot of respect. The bottom line, what should I do about catching my boyfriend's mom stealing from my small business? Get your shit out of her house. This is a duh. What the fuck? You rent a storage unit or something. Put some shelving in there and organize your shit. Okay? You're going to have to spend some money. You just trying to be cheap. But you see what's going to happen. She's going to be stealing your profits and taking the nicest stuff for herself. Get your shit out of there this weekend. Go and rent you a storage unit place, the kind with the little roll up gate. You can put some shelving units in there, organize the tops, the pants, a hanger for the dresses or whatever you're going to do. And then take your stuff and sell it at free markets or whatever. Then you take it back in there, you put it back in there. You have a padlock, you have a key, and so does your friend, I guess, if you guys are doing the business together. But I don't know if I would trust her with a key because her mother might find the key and go down there and get whatever she wants to. This is why I never was in partners with. I've tried partnership with some people 2 times, and both times, the first time I said, well, these people were crooks and this and that. And the second time it was with this dude when I started my Ask Heartbeat website, and he tried to pull a fast one, but luckily I'm slicker than him. So he was trying to hold my website domain hostage by thinking he was going to put it on his uh, his server. But I had already called my hosting company and said, don't, if he tries to switch the host, don't let him. I'm paying this fucking bill. It's my site. I registered the domain. It's mine, and I'm paying you. So nobody switches this domain but me. And then I had him change the password. So then he tried to tried to be slick and switch it. And they were like, oh. Deborah already told us not to let you do that. So he was effectively shut out. And I didn't have to say nothing to his motherfucking donkey ass. But yeah, he tried to pull a fast one. But see, that's what happens when you a hood rat. You see bullshit coming. And I had already circumvented it a month before he even got the idea to do it. I had already put my shit in place to just in case he thought he was gonna get funny. My stuff was already locked up and what she could do about it. And he thought that because I didn't know web development at the time, that was his job. I was a content person, but unbeknownst to him, my parents had paid for me a class in web design, right? And I'd already went to it, completed it, and it was excellent. So when he's like, "Well, you can't use my stuff, the stuff I put up there," you guys said, "No problem." I had already worked out a new site. I took that shit down, uploaded my new stuff, and within 5 minutes, my site was up. It didn't look as great as when he was doing it, of course, because I was the new, just learning. But it was up and it was running, and I didn't miss a beat. And that motherfucker, I saw that nigga at a couple of First Fridays here, and he was giving me, well, who did your site? I did my site, but I thought you didn't know how to do it. I said, yeah, well, things change. I talked to his fucking ass since. Yep. Always. You got to always be 3, 5 steps ahead of niggas because they going to always try to pull some shit. But I'm a nigga too. And one thing, I have a lot of sense in this big head. I know I crack jokes and act stupid, and you might not know that, but you ain't gonna pull nothing over on me. Not in this lifetime. Catch me on the next one. Let's move on to question number 20. This is a young lady in the 26 to 29 age group from Norfolk, Virginia. My boyfriend, 24, and I, 24 and 25 years old, respectively, were at a large party, and the next morning, my boyfriend admitted that he had kissed a male friend of his. This male friend has hit on him before, / sees interested in him. He doesn't identify as bi, but he is questioning and has told me in the past that he's interested in eggplant with a man. And you stayed with him? I am bi, but I would never kiss another woman while in a monogamous relationship. My boyfriend apologized and said it just happened, but promised that he wouldn't let it happen again. I've never been with a partner who is unfaithful anyway, so I don't really know how to react to this. Deb, is this fine / innocent, or is it a red flag? Girl, this is not a red flag. It's a whole fucking parade, like miles of red flags. Your boyfriend told you about that to see how you was going to respond, and you had such a mild reaction. He knows that the door is open now for next time he going to come and tell you, "Oh, well, we did this, or I let him do that to me." And you just gonna be still sitting there like, "Oh." And then next thing you know, he gonna bring the dude talking about he wanna have a little party. And you gonna be like, "Oh." See, this is what happens when women don't have boundaries. So what you were supposed to do when he confessed to you that that's what he did is supposed to say, "Okay, well, that's the direction that you want to go. I'm fine with it. You do what you want to do. I'm not telling you what you can't do. What I'm telling you is you're not going to do that and be in a relationship with me." Deuces. So you got to have boundaries, ladies. You got to have boundaries. And so many of you are so afraid of losing the relationship, of the man being mad at you, of not looking flexible, or being looked at like you're homophobic or some crazy shit. I don't give a fuck. The bottom line is I'm in a relationship with a man, a heterosexual relationship. I don't expect to be no other bitch or no other motherfucking man in the relationship in any way, shape, or form. Once you decide, even if you decide you're gonna be the switch teams and be the woman, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be in a relationship with a man who identifies as a man, who acts like a man, who likes, deals with women, who likes women, who's attracted to sexually to women and not men. All these kind of things have all these parameters. So when you step outside of that envelope, then we can't be in a relationship no more. And you can put whatever kind of label you fucking well want to. It's not going to matter to me. You like dick, sir. I want a man who likes pussy. That's not you. We're done here. And that's it. People want to be like, "Oh, you're not biphobic, this and that." If you want to put a label on me and call me that and it makes you feel better, dab at it. You say whatever the fuck you want to say. It's not going to change nothing here. I don't want to be sleeping with a man who wants to be kissing and sucking dicks and shit like that. That's not my idea of a good time. I don't want to be with nobody like that. Yeah, cheating is cheating, and then people switch hitting teams. I'm not into that at all. Question 21, female, 46 to 55 from Virginia. Deborah, what should I do about a man I've been with for 14 years who says he doesn't want to get married because my 28-year-old daughter lives with me? You've been dating someone for 14 years? I'm stuck on that part. On top of that, he doesn't hold the door for me, doesn't give me money when I need it, passes gas without saying excuse me. And on our beach trip this year, he acts as if he were by himself. Then he has the nerve to say that I don't let him hold me or have eggplant with me. I'm just not romantically attracted to him because of these things and more. What should I do? You should break up. Why are you asking me this? Who dates somebody for 14 years? Why would you want to get married to somebody like this? He doesn't want to, live with you because, he doesn't want to get married because your 28-year-old daughter lives with you. Say, okay, and then break up with him. What's the problem? You're not attracted to him, and he's a beast. Who goes around flirting in front of people, not saying, I'm, I'm, I, I just no. This is just a big no. Let's move on. Question 22. Female, 21 to 25 from Oxnard, California. My boyfriend, I refer to him as M, is 30 and I'm 23. We hosted a small barbecue for some of his coworkers and my friends now that things are opening back up. We were so excited to have friends over. It was the first time my best friend had met him. We've been dating for 8 months. Anyway, my best friend, I refer to as D, and I have been best friends for 20 years. I was really excited for her to meet him. Her older sister and her sister's fiance also came, and everybody loved my boyfriend. Everyone had a good time. I didn't realize anything was amiss until the next day. I was talking to my boyfriend, and he said he thought D was making eyes at him to test him. I laughed and said, no, she wasn't. She was just kind of flirty, and it increases when she drinks. I went shopping with Dee the same day, and she asked if M had anything to say about her. I told her what I thought was an amusing anecdote, and he thought she was making eyes at him, but she confirmed that she was. She said she was doing it to test him and make sure he was faithful. She said not to worry because it wasn't like she was going to take him. Okay, anyways, my best friend, as I'll refer to as D, best friend for 10 years. Not to worry because it doesn't like she was going to take him. This is what she says to you. Okay. At first, I was more blown away by the fact that she even thought she had the ability to take my boyfriend. But while going over it in my mind again, I'm upset by the entire thing. That she would try and, quote, test him like I don't have a good judge of character. Also, this was a public event. Let's say something did happen and I would have been humiliated. Then what did she think was going to happen? Thanks, Ken. I would thank her for revealing him as a cheater. I'm so uncomfortable with ever letting them together again, not because I think anything would happen, but because she made a joke of our relationship when she does this. What if she decides to test him again? It feels very childish to me, and I'm not sure how to talk to her about this. We got into it a little after she said it, but I mostly just got upset that she said she wouldn't take him and told her she couldn't if she tried. Good job. Now I'm upset about all of it. I don't want to lose a 10-year friendship over this, but I feel betrayed by her. What would you do? Oh, no, I would have cussed that bitch out. You good because you was all mild and stuff and trying to have a level-headed discussion. I would have snatched her by her hair and flung her ass to the ground and said, "Bitch, test this. Let's test my strength now. I'm about to stomp your ass." Because see, first of all, to say, okay, again, people think, well, Deb, you respond in a way and it just looks like you're jealous. That's not it. This is utter and complete disrespect. And one thing I don't take is that kind of stuff. Bitch, you gonna tell me you did some shit like that and then tell me to my face that, that it's not like I'm gonna take him? Take him? Like he would go with your trifling two-bit piece of shit ass. He has good taste. You just a hoe. What kind of bullshit is you on? You tripping. You don't forget, bitch, I know all your secrets and you a trifling piece of bitch asshole. So don't get funny. Yeah, he told her because he know that's some bullshit. And a lot of dudes, they going to tell because they think it's a setup. And if I were a guy, that's how I would have responded too. I've been like, oh, what's up with your friend? Because see, it could be a test, like where they was in on it together. You know what I mean? To see, but then it could have just been the friend trying to get in between them. Whatever way, the good thing, he did the exact thing that he should have done, which is tell her what her friend did. Whether they were in on it together or not, he's still going to come out on top because that was the right way to handle it. He's not supposed to say anything to her, although I know my husband would have said, he would have just checked her right then. It's like, bitch, get out of here. Ain't nobody interested in you. You know, you tripping. Look at my woman over there. That's what he did. You know, my woman over there. What I want with you? You don't even halfway measure up to her. That's what he said to this girl. So it's like in a situation like this, um, I don't know. I would have cussed her out, and our friendship would have been over, like on the spot. That's it. It's like find your best way home, bitch, because I'm getting in my car by myself. You gonna find your way home the best way you can. Because it's whole o'clock. It's time for me to go. You know, yeah. I mean, on the spot, she would have got cussed out. Right there in the store, on the sidewalk, wherever we were, she would have just got an earful from me, and that relationship would have been over. She wouldn't have had to worry about, I don't want to ever let them together again. I'm uncomfortable and all this old kind of shit here. That's so weak. What you talking about? You let them be together so you can do what I said and lose your mind. Hope she acts up so you can use that opportunity to lose your mind on her and cuss that bitch out in front of everybody. I don't. I need some water. These people. This was on sale. Smart water, watermelon mint. I thought, oh, that might taste good. This shit tastes like quinine. Oh my. Okay, well, we won't be buying any more of this. Okay, question number 23. This is a male in the 35 to 39 age group from London. Is modern dating and relationships all hooked up in open relationships? Deb, I recently rejected a married colleague. I'm getting nothing but grief. Bloody hell, I'm so stressed about it now. Around New Year's, my nearly 12-year relationship ended. Wow. When my ex came out as a lesbian. Wow. I'm absolutely devastated, and truth be told, I'm still really hurt. It's led me to realize I'm just not interested in dating relationships at all at the moment. I just want to work on myself for one and don't think it's right to get with someone when I know I'm not over somebody else. Good for you. That's very mature. I'll also throw out there that I've never been into casual hookups or one night stands either, even when I was younger. I'm mono and I prefer intimacy within the confines of a committed relationship. Where are you in London? Man, I need to get on a plane. So last week we did a raffle at work and I entered not thinking anything of it. One prize was a weekend in a local luxury hotel. The package consisted of free drinks, a complimentary three-course meal, and that's the prize I won, which shocked me because I've never won anything in my life. What I didn't realize was that it was for two people. When my colleagues on my team asked who I'm taking, I realized what they meant and I felt a little embarrassed. I initially said I might see if someone wants to swap prizes for the champagne or something, which my colleagues said would be a shame. So I said I might sneak my dog in and have a boys' night out. So they laughed. But one of the women on another team on my floor heard about it and made a beeline for me when I was having a cup of tea on my own later. She mentioned the prize and asked whether I decided what I was doing. Now, she only got married last year, so I assumed she was asking me if she could have the prize. So I said, oh, you want these? And treat X her hubby's name then? She went something like, I was thinking me and you would go together and have some fun. I was like floored. I went, hang on, you are married, right? And she said, yeah, but we're open and let each other have fun with others. So how about it? This is a bitch he works with, okay? Those of you who are listening, follow along. He earned his prize at work. This is a woman who works with him on another floor, came down and suggested that they go to this hotel weekend together so they could have fun knowing that she's married, okay? I just want you to make sure you understand you're keeping up. So she says, "How about it?" Which, honestly floored me even more because I made excuses and I went back to work. A bit later, I got a text from her and she went, "So you never gave me an answer." I messaged her back saying, "I'm flattered, but no. I'm not into hookups, really, and especially not with married women." I was hoping that would be the end of it, but she went, "Why not? He is absolutely fine with it if that's what you're worried about." Just said, "Look, I'm not interested. I'm sure you'll do absolutely fine with someone else who's interested in that sort of thing. Please leave it alone," which I just got a fine. Suffice to say, when I left the office and walked past her, she had a face like a smacked arse on her. Wow, this is a juicy story. I was stunned, annoyed, and confused. So later in the night, I threw it out on my WhatsApp friend group to vent. They couldn't believe it. They didn't think I should have turned it down. The guys were like, "Bro, what's wrong with you? You turned down eggplant." And someone along the lines of, "I don't believe you." I was just trying to say I'm not into non-monogamy, polyamory, or whatever she is. And plus, I'm just not interested in when I'm trying to still get over my ex. That was greeted by a quote: "The best way to get over someone else is by getting under someone else." Seriously, who says that in these days and age? I know my grandmother used to say that. And I also got off a 38-year-old female friend. Dude, she just wants you to hose her down, not marry her. I was pretty pissed off by this point, so I just stopped responding to everyone. Now I'm really fucking confused, Deb. The way my colleagues and friends were acting, it was like I had done something wrong. I feel like I'm a weirdo. Seriously, is this what being single is like? I mean, surely I'm not that old school, right? It's not as if it's just the eggplant. If I wanted to get myself off that badly, I'd use a flashlight and watch popcorn. Was it that bizarre that I refused? No, it just shows that you're a person with morals and class and you're surrounded by friends who have none. If I were you at your age, which let me see, I forgot what you are. You 35 to 39 age group. So you're a mature adult man, and just about headed into middle age. So your morals and values are very important to you, and you communicated to that, and they all ridiculed you. So what I'm going to tell you is, sir, this was a red flag. It's time for you to get new friends. Start easing yourself out of associating with them. It's obvious by these exchanges and the ways they were teasing and taunting you that their morals and values are not in line with yours. These are the kind of people that are expressing this kind of stuff to you. Trust me. See, my question would be, if I were you, okay, if I got married and with these people, seeing this is how they thinking this shit is okay, would they be approaching my wife about some bullshit like this, and would I have to kill somebody? See, that's how my mind thinks. Because whatever way that you present yourself, see, that means that's who you are. And if you come to my house into my marriage with some bullshit like that, I'm gonna be in prison. So your best bet, so to avoid prison, is to get them out of your life. So you start backing away from them before you get into your next relationship. These people are very, something's wrong with them. And at your job, they don't even see the association. This is at your place of employment. This is wholly inappropriate. Even if you didn't work together, the fact that you know that she's married makes it inappropriate. But she knows that you're married and you work together, and everybody knows you won this prize. You know how trifling that would look. Ooh, my goodness. You okay? You know what you should do? Um, You find who won the champagne or whatever and trade prizes with them, or go put it online somewhere and sell it for $50 or $25 or free, or whatever you want to do. Or if you're going to go, go by yourself. And then, if there's some kind of, I don't know how they want to do it, since it includes free ring, free, usually, double occupancy. But if you're getting the room free, what difference does it make? Just have a weekend by yourself, lounge out by the pool, get your free drinks, the drinks for two, you drink them all. Have yourself a good relaxing weekend or overnight or whatever it is, and just don't worry about these people and don't take anybody. Turn your phone off and enjoy your privacy. Board your dog, put your dog in a kennel or something, or with a friend, and just go away and just try to get over all of these people, including your ex. This is unbelievable. But you sound like a great guy. I'm just really sorry that you have some sorry ass friends. Question 24. This is the next to last letter. You hope you're enjoying What the Fuck Tuesday. We're here every Tuesday doing this with relationship advice questions. If you have a question that you'd like to submit for future consideration on a broadcast, look in the show description down below and fill out the form, submit your question. It can be about family relationships, coworker relationships, romantic relationships, marriage relationships, parent-child relationships, sibling relationships, whatever you want. Any kind of interpersonal relationship, I will address it on this show. I know a lot about corporate politics and games, and I can help you with your career path as well. So, just make sure your letter is complete. Don't go into a whole bunch of detail about shit that's irrelevant, but give me all the facts. I need names, I need ages, I need, whatever kids involved and all this give me the deets that's gonna make an impact on my decision. Because a lot of people they tell me stupid stuff that doesn't matter. Let's move on. Okay, this is the last question. Next to last question. Male, 26 to 30 from Toledo, Ohio. Hey, Auntie, I need advice for real. Not for play, for real. I have been dating this woman, 31, who is a single mom of an 11-year-old boy for about a month now. I'm 29, going to be 30 in August. You and I have the same birthday. Oh, no. He's a Leo. Ooh, dude. Things have been going great. I told her from the start that I don't want to meet her son for quite some time until her and I are established. It's not fair for him to have someone come into his life that could leave just as fast as they entered it. She agreed on this, but then she got upset and started crying. I told her that I want to meet him eventually if things are good between us, but not yet. We're new and only in the dating stage still. She said it brings up so many questions that she shouldn't ask, but still needs to know because she's looking for a long-term partner. Wait a minute. A month? Wait, I just want to make sure dating this woman for a month. Okay, I just want to make sure I remembered correctly. What do you think these questions could be? I've been nothing but truthful and upfront with her from the start and told her my feelings and position on things almost immediately. This came up because she sent me pictures of him when they were doing daily activities like roller skating and stuff. I didn't have a problem when she started sending pictures of him because I could tell she was happy and proud of her child. This was fine by me because it's the center of her life and I respected this and I actually appreciated it as well at first. I started to have a problem when the frequency of the pictures increased and she sent one of him sleeping, even though I'm assuming it's because she finds him cute while asleep. But I began to feel pressured and it's uncomfortable when he sent pictures after I already told her I'd like to establish ourselves as a strong couple before anything about meeting or seeing her son. So I told her to stop sending me pictures of him because he's not my kid and I shouldn't have pictures of a kid I haven't even met and I don't want to meet yet on my phone. Please give me your opinion and recommendation regarding her behavior. What do you think she's pushing for? Was my response inappropriate or mean? It was a typical Leo response where we gonna roar. We done already told you. Okay, so now we gonna roar it at you. So blow your hair back because you don't fucking want to listen. See, so then the next thing she gonna do it again, and then you gonna be through with her. Cause that's if you're like me, we born on the same day. That's gonna be the chain of events. Till she, three strikes you out. You done already told her. You gave her a good reason. It's totally logical, makes sense, and it's showing much respect for her and her child. But she's pushing, pushing, pushing. What's she pushing for? She's pushing for you to like her kids so that y'all can play happy family. That's what she's doing. So, Mr. Leo, you're going to have to take it. You're going to have to edge stuff up a notch. You're going to have to channel your inner Deb because you way younger than me. Shit, you could be my son. You young. You only 29. Um, you're gonna have to channel your inner Deb, and you're gonna have to tell her, look, look, look. I know you have visions of having a permanent relationship and having, your son have a father and all this kind of stuff. I know that's your dream come true. But you know what? I don't know if we had gonna have that dream. First of all, I'm sure he's a perfectly nice kid. You're a pretty nice lady in the month that I've known you, but you're doing too much. Okay, you need to slow your roll. I done already told you twice. I don't want pictures of your child on my phone. That looks freaky and weird. And it's like you pushing this kid down my throat and it's starting to piss me the fuck off. You do this shit one more time, I'm going to be through with you because you're not listening. I already told you I don't want you to do that, and you're doing it anyway. I want to get to know you first. Stop shoving your kid down my throat. Okay, now, if she doesn't listen, then you just fire her. That's what you're going to say. Look, three strikes is out, you out. So you're not listening. You got one more time. Yeah, them crying. See, them tears don't work on Leos. We don't give a fuck about your tears. You could cry until the whole San Francisco Bay fills up, the entire Atlantic Ocean. I don't care what you do. But if I said no, I don't want it, it's gonna still be no. I don't give a fuck how much you cry. You could cry till you dehydrated and blow up and blow away. It doesn't matter. Your tears, I'm immune to tears. And everything, they just piss me off and make me hate you. So, don't cry around me. You better put your G on. I'm more impressed with that than somebody crying all the sniveling and snotting every goddamn place. That don't work for me. That irritates the fuck out of me. I had a boyfriend to do that. He wanted to start fucking crying. I just wanted to throw up on him. I felt so disgusted. It's like, ugh, what man does that? That was just so, that shit made me itch. Just thinking about it right now makes me feel all, ugh. I just, lost so much respect. I just cannot. Don't cry around me. Don't do that. I don't even cry. What am I look like looking at you cry? I just was like, ugh. Okay, so now, enough of all that. Let's move on to the last question. You guys, please hit that subscription button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the Debsterism channel. Look at all this fun you're having here. It's interesting. It's entertaining. It's exciting. It's so different. It's crazy. The chat room's crazy. Why would you not want to be a subscriber to this channel? Okay? I don't understand it. Why people just will come here and have all this fun and then not subscribe. I don't get it. I don't understand. You can hit the like button too, but that's not as important as a subscriber. Yes, Samantha. Welcome to the show. Atlas. Yes, you're right. That's exactly what it is. And Faye. I see a whole bunch of new names. I hope all you guys, and Danny, are you a subscriber? I've seen you here a couple of times. It would be nice if all y'all hit that subscription button. So let's move on. We got our last question. It seems like we've been having 25 questions every week lately. Used to be, remember when I used to complain when it was 15, 10, 12? Those were the good old days. Let's move on. Question number 20. Oh, this is long. This is from a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Liverpool, England. I've been with my partner for 5 years. We have an 8-week-old baby. Lately, I've been too embarrassed to go outside with him. He is so rude and confrontational to people for no reason. When we're out, it makes big drama out of everything. And it's so embarrassing. I just want the ground to swallow me up when I'm there. But now we have our child, and I'm worried about her seeing this behavior. Okay, your baby's 8 weeks old. She ain't seeing nothing yet except a bottle. Some examples. We went out for breakfast on my birthday, and a waitress offered us a seat at a long shared table full of children and parents. And I asked if we could have a more private area so I could feed my baby, but she said that was fine, but I need to move the pram to the side. As soon as we sat down, my husband went on a big rant about how it's obvious that she hates children, hates the fact that the pram is in her way, and then said aggressively, if she says anything, I'll be speaking to her manager. And every time she walked past, he would glare at her, then shouted, thanks for nothing, when we left later on. Wow. Yesterday in a cafe, a mom and daughter walk in front of me as I'm pushing the pram. They obviously didn't see me, and I stopped so I don't hit them. My partner snaps. You could say thank you to them. The daughter looks really uncomfortable when we ended up at a table next to them. Similar things happen if someone walks in front of us or doesn't say thank you when we let them go past. Usually not on purpose. They just didn't notice. He'll start getting all sarcastic or shout down the street after them even if they're with their kids. He regularly snaps, what are you looking at her? Can I help you? Because he says someone gave him a dirty look in the street. He then says it must be because he's overweight and they hate fat people. There's always some far-fetched scenario why that person must hate him. A group of young girls walked past us the other day and he shouted, what are you looking at, you fat, ugly gremlins? Because he claims they looked me up and down and it's absolutely humiliating. When I ask what the hell he's playing at, he says I need to stand up for myself and I'm not assertive enough and asks if I'm the crazy one for not screaming at people in the street. I keep asking him to please not do this in front of me and the child. He even shouted at someone in the hospital corridor that their shoes were too loud. We are going out to lunch today with my dad. He's only met twice. I'm so worried he's going to behave like this in front of him. Sorry for the long rant. I'm just not sure what to do. Can you give me some advice? Oh my God, why did you have a baby with him? What were you thinking? This guy's an idiot. But I'm telling you what, now, how would that have gone if this was me? Uh, A daughter walk in front of me as I'm pushing the pram. They didn't see me, and I stopped so I don't hit them. Hidden steps. You could say thank you to them. How about I say fuck you, you fat freak? How about that? Should be walking with that giant goddamn stroller anyway. Carry that baby, put that baby in one of them baby buckets like a normal person. Walking around this gigantic thing, taking up a whole fucking sidewalk. And of course, it's going people not gonna be moving out your goddamn way. Big whale walking down the street, shit. You look like fucking Kool-Aid. I'm about to bust through the wall and shit. Fat, greasy motherfucker. Okay, and please say something to me and try to come at me so I can stab you with my knife. I'm just like, you're not gonna talk to me like that. But other people are very more, reticent. Okay, so someone, he says he'll shout down the street after them, even if they're with their children. That's when I would tell my kid, wait, right, he put my kid in the car, or whatever, and turn around and say, what, fat freak, what? You had so much to say, shouting out the goddamn down the street. Now say it to my face so I can shoot you. And people don't know if you have a gun or not, but you talk like you do and you act pose like you do. They be scared that you do. So then they shut the fuck up. So then he's like, what are you looking at? I'm trying to figure that out, you fat, ugly dog. You look like a walking whale. I don't know what the fuck you are. That's what I'm looking because I'm trying to fucking figure it out. Can I help you? No. I don't let fat, greasy men help me do anything. Your dick is too short and your belly's too big. There's nothing for you. There's nothing that you can help me with except to get the fuck out of my face. That's the best you could do. He says it must be because he's overweight and they hate fat people. That's true. But they don't hate fat people. They just hate you. And he's going to be trying to attack young girls. See, me and my friends would have ganged up on her. Because, that was savages. We would have surrounded his ass and say, what? You want to call everybody names now? Call 911. Say this man was saying sexually suggestive things to us. And we're minor child. Get him in trouble. Get his ass arrested. So he shouted down the street at us, officer. He was talking about our bodies. He was making sexually suggestive comments to us. It was horrible. I'm so scared. And they had to cart his ass off. I said, that'll teach you to be talking to young girls, but won't it? I would turn that shit on Waterworks on like 9,000, have his ass arrested. I bet you he wouldn't be doing that to no other children. But see, that's how me and my friends operated. We going to get you. That's why I hang around with people who had a mind like me. We were savages, even at 13, 14 years old. It's like, nope, you're not going to get away with that. It's just a look like that. And everybody already knew what we was getting ready to do. And we'd run up in him and say, I can't believe you said those horrible things to us. You're a horrible man. Call the police. Call the police. And you tell him some man was making sexually suggestive comments to you on the street, his ass is going to get arrested. And he can't say nothing because he was shouting at some minor children on the street. You shouldn't have been doing that. You need to keep your mouth closed. And that's how you shut people down. What's he going to say? Well, I wasn't shouting at him. Yes, you were. Well, I didn't say that. Well, what did you say then? Why were you shouting at these girls that you don't know? Why were you shouting at them about their bodies in any way, shape, or form? And they said that's what you said. And you admit that you were shouting at them down the street. So I'm going to take their word for it, right? Because you admitted that you were shouting at them down the street and you were talking about their bodies. Right? Right? So, lady, I'm going to tell you this. You need to figure out how you are going to get away from this man. You need to get away from this man, file for child support, and go on with your life. I hope your daddy is a savage, so if he acts a fool with him when you go on your lunch, your daddy can check him, because I can tell you what my father would just, no. That would be the wrong thing to do in front of that man, to act a fool like that, because he would have stood up and showed you how a fool really acts in public. And it would have been just, yeah, I'm telling you, y'all think I'm kidding. I'm like, that savage side of me was formed very young. And he wouldn't have got away with that. I would have had him arrested. He would have got in some deep trouble. And after that, he wouldn't have said nothing to nobody else's daughter ever as long as he fucking lived. And that would be the best thing you do. Grown men don't need to be saying shit to minor to children, to little girls. Nothing. Not hello, not goodbye, nothing about their bodies. Because see, now that means you making a comment about their bodies. It means you looking. And you looking in there hard enough to talk. Oh, no, you're going to go down on skillet. You're getting a fry for this. You're going to have it on your record. I'm going to go to court. I'm going to testify all kind of shit that you said. Who you think they're gonna believe? Especially since you admitted that you was talking about our bodies and you was shouting at us down the street. That's 2 out of 3. Now, what you said, exact words, it's my word against yours. Because you admitted the other 2 things, so it's only one point that I have to make. You already on hook for the other 2 by your own confession. All right. He gonna end up somewhere, but because he gonna say some shit to the wrong person, and he noticed how he keeps attacking women, right? Women and children. So he's gonna say the wrong thing to somebody's woman, daughter, wife, girlfriend, or something, and some dudes is gonna take him out. That's what's gonna happen. You make sure your insurance policy is up, and so when his gas gets taken out, you get paid. That's all I can tell you. But this is good. You know what? I'm thinking, you guys, I'm gonna try to see if I can slide in here on Thursday, because Friday I'm gonna be going out of town. I got invited to a weekend away, and I'm going. I'm going to be having some fun. Yes, with a man. And so it should be interesting. So I'm going to try to get in here on Thursday. I'll make a decision about what the topic is tomorrow and put it up. But we will not have DNN on Friday because I'm going to be out of town getting my swerve on. And this weekend and having some fun. Now that I can kind of walk a little bit, I can, try to do some one-in-place dancing and stuff. But I will definitely see you all on Tuesday, okay? So don't miss it. Hit that subscription button before you leave, and I will see you all on Thursday and then on following Tuesday. Bye bye.